Hi, I'm Becca Otis from Five Lines Pottery in Indianapolis, Indiana.
And I'm Ryan Durbin from RD Ceramics, located in Southgate, Kentucky.
And welcome to Wheel Talk.
Hey guys, we've loved answering all of your questions so far. If you'd like to hear your question on the podcast, please send them to us on Instagram at Wheel Talk Podcast or by email to wheeltalkpodcast@gmail.com. Thanks.
Oh. Hello.
Hello, hello.
Hello. Hello. We're live.
I was trying to think, there's like a movie reference there, but I'm trying to remember. I don't know.
I don't know. I never know any of the movies you have, and you never know any of the movies I have, so.
Yeah, now it's stuck in my brain. I'm trying to.
You'll figure it out.
Yeah.
Halfway through today, you'll be like, what was it? Oh, yes.
Yeah. Hi.
Hi, Ryan. How are you?
I'm doing good. I am back in the studio, been making stuff, and I've been home for a bit because I had COVID last week.
Hooray! And you almost exposed me.
I did.
But I was fine. I didn't have COVID.
Yeah, it was over Christmas. I think I got it from Rachel, so yeah, I had to do the whole contacting people and stuff, and then at home had to cancel our New Year's Eve, New Year's Day. We were just going to do like a staycation here in Cincinnati.
Yeah.
And go do some stuff, but canceled that. I actually did, like, Rachel was surprised, but I actually did, like, take some time off and, like, just chilled for a couple days.
Oh, good.
Like, took some naps during the day and, like, watched some TV. And,
nap.
I mean, I still did some, like, computer stuff because I've been trying to, since the holiday, or the shows are over, I was kind of getting to that point of like, okay, I got some computer stuff that I want to like get done. So I worked on a lot of the show breakdown or the analytics of my bookkeeping stuff, which I know people on here are probably excited to get to when it's ready.
Right.
So yeah, I've been kind of working on that, and everything was minor. Rachel had it too, and I just had a sore throat for like 3 days.
Yeah, and you're feeling
Usually
better.
I have sore. Yeah, I'm good. I had it about 5 days ago now.
Okay.
When I was like in the thick of it. I guess I started showing like symptoms, which was the sore throat was really my only symptom the whole time. Yeah. But I had started showing those symptoms about a week ago.
Yeah.
But I have sore throats in the winter all the time. You know, you like dry air and you sleep with your mouth open and you have a sore throat when you wake up.
Yeah.
That was pretty common. So
I had to, like 3 weeks ago, I texted Rebecca and I was like, hi, do you remember if when I got allergies, it was a sore throat? And she was like, yes, it was. And I was like, okay, cool, because I'm freaking out because I think I have COVID, but I'm pretty sure it's just allergies. And she's like, it's allergies. And then I went into I was like, do you remember which medicine I used? And she was like,
she just like she knows all that stuff about you?
Yes. And she was like, I'm pretty sure it was Allegra, but I can't remember for sure. And then I went into the bathroom at work and there was like a little allergy pill bottle, and I was like, I think it's that.
I don't like associate sore throat with like allergy though. I just feel like that's like seasonal, not really allergy, but like seasonal sickness, like kind of like a cold, I guess. But
for me, it's like a really deep sore throat, but it's like more congestion sore throat, and it really is allergy.
Oh, okay.
Like I have to take allergy medicine.
Yeah, if it's congestion and stuff.
Yeah, it's weird. It's not like a normal sore throat for sure.
Yeah. So yeah, mine's typically like wake up in the morning, sore throat, and then work throughout the day, and then it's like, okay, it's tailed off about 3:00, and I'm like, okay, this is expected.
Yeah.
And the only difference was I pretty much had a sore throat the whole day.
Yeah.
And I did like medicate and stuff, and then that cut it down. Yeah. But it's like by the time you get to bed, it's like, oh, I wish I didn't have to go to sleep because I know my sore throat's going to be worse when I wake up in the morning from just sleeping.
I know. It's the worst.
So.
Yeah, I got to do nothing this week because I thought I was exposed to COVID, so that was fun. And I didn't want to take one of those at-home tests until the latest possible moment because they are pretty inaccurate. But I didn't show any symptoms, and I boosted up this last week.
Nice. Yeah, we had to wait in line. Good thing you didn't have to do a test, like one of those where you could wait in line. We waited in line for like 2 hours on Wednesday. It was nuts.
We ended up not doing the podcast because of it. Yeah.
Yeah, it took forever.
Crazy.
So that's pretty much what's going on here. I finished out my year, met my throwing goal of like 4,500 pots for the year.
Hooray! See, Sir Charles
He's excited.
Is excited for you.
Yeah, so I'll set a new goal for 2021. I guess we'll talk about that on our next recording.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was exciting, and I'm back to throwing again. So
I think I probably hit. I was at 15,267 pots in November, so I probably hit like 1,700.
And you had basically the whole year at Gravesco.
Yeah.
I mean, you started like late January, maybe?
Yeah, but I definitely could have gone harder. I was sick a lot this year. Like, I was just like we were trying to figure out the whole fibromyalgia stuff, and like, my body just hurt a lot this year. So,
did you notice like living in this area was a lot different for your body than living in Washington? Like, do you think that contributed to sickness and stuff?
I do think that the humidity, technically, as we have discussed, technically the humidity is exactly the same here as it is in Washington. But I'm convinced it's different. and so,
is the altitude different?
Yeah, I mean, it's sea level. I don't know if we're sea level here or not, but what the biggest difference is that my ankle doesn't hurt here.
Oh, okay.
And it did always hurt there. So.
Okay. Yeah, I mean, that seems like a moisture, like, aren't joints a lot with, like, humidity and moisture, and, like, my knee hurts when it's gonna rain.
Yeah.
Like, I know it.
Like, and my foot does start to hurt when it's gonna, like, rain here. But, like, that's why I'm convinced that the humidity is not the same. Because, like, my body can feel it.
Okay.
But who knows? I could be wrong. My body could be fucking wrong.
I mean, just logically, it seems like Washington would have more humidity.
You would think.
It tends to rain near Seattle more than it does here.
Correct.
Just, like, on average,
Maybe
it
it's
seems
like the
that would
salt.
be true.
Maybe it's the salt water. Maybe it's like the salty air, you know, like the salt in the air as opposed to, like, you know, fresh water humidity. Like, maybe that's the difference.
Maybe.
I don't know if that's a thing.
It seems like, I mean, that makes
It's not backed in science or anything.
somewhat sense.
But it makes a little bit of sense.
It could be a factor.
I mean, salt rusts metal. Sorry. Yeah. I woke up at 7 this morning and got to work at 8:30 and left work at 2. And like,
you don't normally work that early though.
No.
Did you just do that because it's one of your first days back?
No, I don't know why. I just was there.
Wait, when you say work, you mean like work, not work at your own studio?
Yeah, work, and yeah, because I was gonna get to my studio early, but I didn't have the key. So I had to get the key because a friend was borrowing it, and I had to get the key. So, yeah. But anyway, I was gonna tell you 2 things. First, I made pulled pork sandwiches, and I know you love barbecue, and I know you can't eat pork very fast, but
I actually had pork tonight.
Yeah.
We had Asian pork for dinner.
I had pulled pork sandwiches, and then I made a Brussels sprout slaw with just
Oh, that's what that was.
yeah, just like a broccoli slaw, but I cut up Brussels sprouts really thin in my little food cutter thingy on my KitchenAid
processor. Yeah.
and then I made homemade French fries, and I'm not shitting you. Those were the best fucking French fries I think I've ever had. Like, had. And
Had?
had. Not made, had. So,
Really?
yes.
Oh, wow.
And I don't know if it was the garlic pepper aioli that I also paired with it.
Oh, aioli.
I mean,
When you throw out that word aioli, I mean, that sounds good right there.
so I can still like, it was like, like
What the fuck is an aioli? What is an
just
aioli?
mayonnaise. It's just fucking mayonnaise. If you made
Is it like a fancy
if you made
fancy
a real
mayonnaise?
aioli, if you made a real aioli, you would be making your own. It's like olive oil and it's whipped, so it's like
Wait, that's all it is?
yeah.
So, okay.
But it's really, a poor man's aioli is just mayonnaise with stuff inside of it. So I made mayonnaise with garlic and pepper. That's the key, guys, the pepper. And I squished the garlic in, and you know how like sometimes you have like too much garlic and too much pepper? This was fucking perfect. It was, I can still like taste it. Oh, so fucking
So that's what you dip the fries in?
Yeah. I should have put that
sounds
aioli
good.
on everything. Honestly,
You know what I would have sprinkled on top of those fries before I dipped it in that? I'd be putting some Cajun seasoning, just sprinkle it on top.
oh, you best believe I put some cayenne pepper on there, and but also, okay, this is the other thing I was going to tell you. There's a lot of things I want to tell you today. This is the other thing I was going to tell you. So when I was in Washington, I always used two seasonings. The Creole seasoning, the one that's green, it's like got a man on it. I think it's like Johnny or I can't remember, but it's the Creole one. It's the green one. It's not Johnny's seasoning, but it's the green one. And then Slap Ya Mamas. And I was watching the Fab Five. Queer Eye.
Oh, wait, you mentioned that. I don't know what that is.
Queer Eye for
I was
the
thinking
Straight Guy?
Fab Five, like the Michigan basketball team from the 90s. The Fab Five.
No, it's Queer Eye for the Straight Guy.
Okay, I don't know that. Is Fab Five the name of the characters?
Yeah, like
group
it's
of characters?
5 gay men who are fabulous.
Oh, okay.
Okay, so anyway.
Totally different Fab Five.
Yes. Clearly you never watched Queer Eye for the Straight Guy, which was one of the best shows on HGTV in like the 2000s.
That was on HGTV. It seems like
I think it was HGTV.
like a different network. It seems like a Bravo kind of network.
Yeah, it
show.
does. Anyway, they're like in Texas, and she pulls out Slap Your Mama seasoning and the Creole seasoning, and I was like, oh, I need those. Like, I've been missing those. Like, that's so good on like shrimp and steak and literally all the things. And you cannot find seasonings in Indiana. It is fucking impossible. There is no flavor in Indiana. None. There's none. It's like
Maybe they have some of that at Jungle Gems.
they do have Slap Your Mamas at Jungle Gyms, and if you guys go before Sunday, I'd love for you to get me some. But
We will probably not, but I mean, we can go when you come here.
that's true. I could probably stop on my way, honestly.
We don't just go to Jungle Gems.
Yeah, but like when I'm gonna go to Washington, I'm gonna go to Washington, so I'm gonna pick some up there anyway. Like, it's a fucking sin against all things to not have those type of seasonings here, especially with the amount of diversity inside of Indianapolis. Like, come on.
Do they not have a grocery store that you've grown accustomed to that's not Kroger there? That has some kind of seasoning
Well,
section that's interesting?
my local grocery store is the Mexican grocery store, so like that's where I go. But
Do they not have seasonings
Nobody
like that?
speaks English there,
Oh,
so I can't order meat unless I'm with somebody who speaks Spanish. And all I do is good. Like, I get all my things, and then I get into the line, and they talk to me, and I go, yeah, yeah, yeah. And I have no idea what they're saying. So,
okay.
but the seasonings are also in Spanish, but they do not have Slap Your Mamas because it's more of like a Louisiana type thing. But anyway,
Okay.
that's what else I was going to tell you.
I had a question about those Brussels sprouts. Are they still cold
Yeah,
as a slaw, or is it warm?
yeah, they're not cooked. Have you ever had raw Brussels sprouts?
No, it sounds like it'd be really hard, though.
No, they're not. If you shave them, it's just like cabbage. So, like, it's just like a coleslaw, but with Brussels sprouts.
I feel like that's why I like Brussels sprouts is when they're cooked.
You should try
But
it.
I've not had them raw.
Because it kind of tastes like a broccoli slaw. I really liked. I was really wildly impressed.
I like an apple slaw.
This had. I got the recipe from my friend who got it off of the back of the craisins bag. I get the off-brand craisin bag, so it doesn't have the recipe on the back, but they get the on-brand craisin bag. So, yeah.
Paying for that recipe, Becca.
Yeah. So, but it has like craisins, cheese, red onion, which I don't put in,
Sure, it's got some pecans or something. in there,
sunflower
some kind of
seeds, and bacon. And I didn't have bacon, and I really didn't have sunflower seeds, so I put in the what are those? What's the snack like when you mix all the nuts together? What's it called?
Sesame sticks?
No, like when you mix all the nuts and the chocolate and the
Sweet and salty?
No, yes, but no.
Chex Mix?
No. Yeah, kind of like Chex Mix
Puppy Chow?
when it's nuts, like
Mixed nuts?
but it's like sunflower seeds, chocolate, M&Ms, like
Trail mix.
trail mix. Okay, I made my own trail mix for myself like 3 months ago, and so I have some stale trail mix, so I put that in it.
Was it good? Yeah. I mean, scooping up a scoop of M&M with a
I didn't put any chocolate in. I didn't put any chocolate
that
in.
would be kind of weird.
Yeah, there was chocolate in some of it, but some of the bags didn't have chocolate, so I found... Actually, luckily, I grabbed one of the bags because I forgot there was chocolate in it. And I tried to scoop as many of the sunflower seeds out as I could, like, to get it into the thing. Anyway, it was delicious.
Yeah. I mean, the hoagie pulled pork looked pretty good.
That was the worst part of the whole meal, and it was pretty good. Like...
There you go. Just gotta refine that one thing. You got the fries down. You got the slaw down.
No, I got the pulled pork down too. In 2015, I used to make pulled pork like every single weekend. Mm-hmm. I've never found my love of pulled pork again.
Oh, you're just tired of it?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't love barbecue sauce. It's not my favorite. And I just had a lot of pulled pork sandwiches.
Yeah. I'm like a light sauce.
Yeah. Yeah, I should have done light sauce, but it's the Mexican, like it's a Mexican style pork, so it's like carnitas. So, or...
That's probably got a lot of seasoning on it.
Yeah, it's got a ton of seasoning. So it's actually really good with the sauce. It's like spicy. It's got like an undertone of spice to it with the barbecue sauce. But
nice.
I was just like, I could eat this slaw and these potatoes. That's all I need.
There you go.
Yeah. Anyway, here we are.
All right. Are we doing a review first?
Yeah. Yeah. So also, before we start, today we're just doing a shoot the shit episode because we have to do 2 episodes this week, and the next one we do is going to be our review episode. So we're going to do questions.
And next week. So you're going to hear this on Saturday. Next weekend, we're going to be at Claycon West.
Right.
And we're going to record that shit.
Yeah.
Not shit. It's going to be good, but it's going to be a lot of stuff. So
yes.
You're going to get a bunch of that soon.
Yeah.
And we're looking forward to meeting anybody out there that's going to be there.
Yeah.
We'll have some pots there.
For sure.
Becca's going to be doing a road trip. And it should be good.
Yeah, actually, the people that we're staying with, Andrea... They're glaze experts, so it might be good to have a conversation with them, actually. So, and they created like a glaze formulation program that's like better than digital
you
fire.
mean like it comes up with like substitutes and stuff like that?
Mm-hmm. I think.
Oh, that's cool.
So we can talk to them about that. That would be good, and it'll be good for them to get the word out too. So. Sweet. Anyway, okay. Yeah, so that's what we're doing. this is a review. It's a 5-star review, and the name is the
Are you okay?
yes. It's just the in
What?
in the name. In the name, it's just a bunch of letters, and so.
Look like they just like fell on their keyboard somehow?
Yeah, pretty much like a cat walked over it.
Okay.
And it says 12 out of 10 podcast would recommend. Hi, I've been listening weekly since finding and binging this podcast last year and can't even explain how much I have laughed and learned from Ryan and Becca about pottery. I have been meaning to leave a review for a while, and finally, after hearing their recent thirst trap, felt it might be time. That's when we gave out stickers.
I've never heard that thirst trap. I love it.
Your loyal followers sincerely love and appreciate your weekly podcast, affirming our self-doubts as artists and keeping us sane in our home studios. One of my favorite things about the podcast, aside from a glimpse into what might be the most wholesome friendship ever, we do have a really wholesome friendship, is that it is truly just two down-to-earth people breaking down and dissecting the things that come up from during the ceramic process. The topics they cover range all the way from reclaim and glaze making to how to set up an Etsy shop or a booth at an art show. I especially love the episode where they interviewed Leanne from Elan Pottery, as it really provided a look into what you can accomplish when you put your whole heart into it. Keep making episodes, keep drinking Bev. Wow, this is an old review. Keep making my week better and keep making amazing pottery. Natalie, Cabin Fever Clayworks. Thanks, Natalie.
Thanks, Natalie.
That was
That
wonderful.
Was Keep drinking Bev. When's the last time you drank Bev?
You know what? I still have one can.
One can.
One can.
Oh.
Maybe I should go to the Bev headquarters when I'm in California.
Say, hey,
Be
remember
like,
me?
yeah, you remember me when you dropped me like a fucking... When I tried to promote you and then you dropped me because I became not famous on TikTok?
And then they'll be like, remember when you moved to Indiana?
Where you can't ship alcohol?
Yeah.
Oh, we do have a really wholesome friendship. That's what I appreciates about this.
And I gotta Google what wholesome means in this situation. I don't even know what that means.
It's like, we're like...
Conducive to or suggestive of good health and physical well-being.
Yeah, we have a very healthy friendship.
To or promoting moral well-being.
We're like a brother-sister friendship. That's what we are.
Okay, I like it.
Did I ever tell
agree.
you one time Jen was like, this was like a year ago or 2 years ago, and she was listening to the podcast. Jen's like one of my really good friends from California. She's going to hear this because she's like the only non-potter other than your mother that listens to the podcast. And she goes, I think it might have been before the podcast. She goes, who's Ryan? You should marry Ryan. And I was like, okay, first of all, he's married. Second of all, I would kill him.
It's one of those where it's like, it's good that you don't like work immediately with each other every single day.
Yes. Yes, for sure.
Oh.
Okay, well, you have a what if, don't you?
Yes. What would you do if? And I picked this out because I already knew the answer that I'm gonna say.
Oh, thanks.
So if you want to give you 30 to 40 seconds, I can do that. All right. This came from the list we sent out. What would you do if? A bunch of people answered. This one said, "What would you do if you could only drink one beverage plus water for the rest of your life? What would it be?"
Plus water. I know your answer.
No, you don't. I mean, what do you think I'm going to say?
Sweet tea.
Oh my gosh, how did you know that?
You have a fucking pitcher of sweet tea in your refrigerator. You're the only human being I know that has a pitcher of sweet tea in the refrigerator.
That's a southern
all
thing.
the time.
People have that. I mean, we haven't actually had tea in the fridge for a bit. I just made some for the first time in like 3 or 4 months. Last week, so, and it's already gone, so. Sweet tea for sure.
Sweet tea for sure. If sweet tea didn't give me a blinding headache, that would also be my answer. Like, if I was immune to all of the aspects of sweet tea that it causes my body, it would also be sweet tea. Oof.
It's just so good. You can drink it hot. You can drink cold. I mean,
It's so versatile.
yeah.
Yeah, I think yeah, I do love a good sweet tea. I'm trying to think of what else.
I mean, is there any, like, water is on there, but I assume that means from the tap. Like, I don't know that includes sparkling water. Would you consider sparkling water the same?
Oh,
Or would you say you have a device that you make it sparkling?
I think sparkling water is a beverage.
Yeah. Just like I would say you can't add, like, Crystal Light to water and say, like, oh, I got one. That's kind of an exception. Like, that doesn't count.
No, that doesn't count. But, Crystal Light, pink lemonade, the shit. Yeah, I love water, though. I'm a hardcore water drinker. Yeah, yeah, sweet tea.
Sweet tea? You said it does mess with you when you drink with it?
I get a
or
headache.
just sometimes? Oh, okay.
Yeah, and sometimes I get a stomachache if I drink too much.
Okay.
But it is one of the more enjoyable, and from like Chick-fil-A.
I've never had... Honestly, I've only ever had Chick-fil-A like 3 times in my life.
Right.
Like 2 times in my life, and it's not been by choice. It's usually like
Okay.
somebody else gets it and I've tried it.
Let's
I've
revert
never,
then.
Went there and eaten there.
Raising Cane's sweet tea.
Ugh. We've been having a lot of Raising Cane's lately.
And nothing wrong
We
with
now
that.
live within like 3 minutes of one, so we get it all the time. I get an Arnold Palmer there, but...
Yum. Their lemonade's really good, too. There's a reason they keep it behind the counter.
And then the Sonic Ice in there?
Yeah,
Ugh.
Sonic Ice. Yes. I love how Sonic Ice became Sonic Ice. Like everybody else has it, but it's like indicative of Sonic.
Yeah, you're not saying like Raising... Have you ever had Raising Cane's
Have
ice?
you ever-
Like, they're like, what's Raising Cane's?
Well, it's because you can buy Sonic Ice by the bag at Sonic.
Or you could say... You could probably just say like pellet ice.
Pellet ice.
People might know what that is.
That's what your mom has in her ice machine, in her fancy ice machine.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, so
I
good.
personally am not a fan of that in any drink.
Because it just melts too quickly
Yeah.
and dilutes it?
Yeah.
I mean, I'm always a cheap ass. I'll say, like, give me a Coke with no ice. Like,
I know you
want
will.
the most liquid as I can.
I know.
Plus, it's already cold coming out of the tap anyways. Like, why do
know.
you need ice in there?
I know. I know. I'm still trying to think of like pops or something that I'd want to have, but I still think that I still think it would be sweet tea.
Is there like in the soda family or like outside of sweet tea that like a favorite pop or
Squirt.
favorite soda that you... What is it?
Squirt.
What does that even taste like? Is that like a lemon lime?
No. Squirt is
I've never had it.
grapefruit.
Oh, we've talked about
Yes.
this. That sounds like garbage. Is it like super tart?
It's delicious.
But isn't it like yellow?
Yeah. Well, no.
How is that grapefruit?
The bottle is green, but the pop
Okay.
itself is like a white.
Okay, grapefruit.
So it's like if you
juice is
poured it
white,
into a glass,
or
it's like a white, light, peachy color. But
Okay, I don't think I've ever tried this.
yeah, they really fucked up on the whole marketing situation of Squirt. Like, it does not look like a grapefruit.
I mean, when you look at it, it looks like a fucking Surge to me.
right,
Like,
exactly. It looks like a lemon lime, but it's not.
It looks like a Mountain Dew competitor,
Also,
but it's not.
Ruby Red Squirt is also so good. I don't know what flavor that is, but it's great.
Ruby Red. I mean, it's probably like
Probably like
isn't
strawberry
that a type of grapefruit?
something. I don't know. It's delicious.
Mine would probably be like... I feel like the go-to soda is like Cherry Coke. Can't go wrong with Cherry Coke.
I do like just a straight Coke too. I've been drinking a lot of Coke recently, which is not great for me, but
We just got some at the store. I got some Barks Red Cream Soda. I haven't had that since grade school, I don't think.
Oh, I made you guys try sarsaparilla. That's good.
Is that the one that's like kind of mapley?
It's the one that tastes kind of like root beer, but not. It's like a little sweeter.
Yeah, I didn't like it.
Yeah, weirdo.
We still have something in there. It's like a huckleberry something. We haven't drank that. What is that? Is that a soda?
So good. Huckleberry soda is so good. Do you know what huckleberries are?
I mean, is it like a blackberry sibling?
Kind of, yeah. So, like, and I don't expect you to know what these are because they're very area specific. So, like, they're in the mountains. Like, they're,
Okay.
So, they're a mountain berry. They're like, they look kind of like a blueberry, but they taste kind of like a raspberry grape. I feel like it's a raspberry grape mixed blueberry. Very red, very tart, very delicious. Yeah. Yes. So, anyway.
Okay.
So I got this game that nobody's ever gonna play with me except for Ryan, and it's called It's called We're Not Really Strangers, and it has a bunch of questions. And I also have the book of questions.
So what, you got this game on intentionally, or somebody gifted you this game and you're like, that's a cool game.
I got
don't
it.
know who I'm going to play it with.
I got it intentionally because I wanted to play it with some friends. One in particular, and then I realized that we're not there yet to play this game.
Okay.
You know.
I have high hopes for games a lot of times. Like, I like to play games, but the number of situations in which I wish there was to play games that somebody would be willing to play games with me.
Yes.
Is very few. I get a good 4 to 5 times a year, so I got to narrow my game options in, and it's usually just games that we've already played all the time. So
yeah,
I probably got 3 or 4 games that we've never played that I would like to play.
But
I don't have committed parties that are willing to just go down this rabbit hole of learning a game together or something like that.
I should bring the game that I got off of. I think I got it off of Amazon. It's called Azul. And it's really fun. I should bring that down. I think that,
Is it blue?
No.
It's not.
It does have blue in it.
Isn't Azul blue in Spanish?
It is.
Okay.
But... anyway, I got this game, and it's not really a game. It's just questions. So you, ask each other questions. And it's more to, get to know... a partner or a friend.
Starter.
Yeah. And I thought it would be fun because we always get questions off of our followers or the interwebs. And I thought it would be fun to pick through a few of these. I did go through and pick some of them because some of the ones were not appropriate to where we are. You know, what shoes am I wearing? It's nobody knows.
Yeah. No one.
Yeah.
All right.
So... would you like to? Do you want me to start?
Sure. You're gonna drive this, so
yes.
Go for it.
Okay, so I'm gonna ask you, and then you have to answer, and then we'll go the other way too. Okay, and this is fun because we get to guess what we think, and then you can answer.
So you're gonna read it, and then I'm gonna guess what I think you're gonna answer.
Yes.
Okay.
I think that's how most of these are. As a child, what do you think I wanted to be?
Painter?
No. I wanted to be a semi-driver.
A semi-driver? I can believe that. I can believe that. You just fucking love to drive. I don't know what.
I know.
Did that hit when you were a kid? Did you always like getting driven around and you're like, man, I can't wait till I drive?
No, I really wanted to drive a semi-truck so that I could live in the back and drive around the country.
I mean, I can believe it. You like the cozy, like small, minimal.
Yeah.
Like you don't need much. Like I got a bed back here. I can drive. I got some snacks maybe. Like
Yeah.
you're good.
I always wanted to be a semi driver because, like, we would go on road trips when I was younger, and I would just like look at all the semis and be like, man, that must be such a cool job. And just get to, obviously we all know it's not the best job, but it is still, like, I think there's a lot of people that,
I mean, if you don't have a family, it's probably
a pretty gnarly good job.
If you like that kind of thing,
Yeah.
like it's probably not terrible.
Well, and also you can be a semi driver and be like Rachel, where they stay at home every night, you know, like where you don't have to be gone for months or whatever. You can just go up and down the state. So, okay, I think that you wanted to be a baseball player.
I mean, I did play baseball. When I was even younger than that, I wanted to be like an architect.
Really? You knew what an architect was when you were little?
I mean, the thing is, I like playing with Legos a lot.
Oh,
so like building and like constructing and like planning, and I like to plan stuff. So like, you know.
I think you'd be a great architect. Oh, also, pause. I was listening to a podcast today. I've been listening to 99% Invisible, and I have no idea what episode it was, but they were talking about, do you remember, like, back in the day when that stupid meme came out with the dress that was, like, blue and white or blue and yellow or white and gold or something like that? It was all about, like, color theory. Anyway, like, it ended up being, like, how your color perceives, whether it feels like it's in the dark or in the light. And, anyway, they went through that whole situation and then started talking about colors, and it was a whole episode about color and, like, the spectrum, and it was so cool. And, I don't know where I was going with that, but it was...
Yeah, like, Rachel and I always disagree on, like, colors of things. I'm like, Rachel, we're not going to agree. We don't see the same colors. And you're never going to put my eyeballs in your eyes and see exactly what I see. So you can't say, like, this is this, and that's all it is.
Yeah.
Anybody else that thinks the otherwise is wrong.
Is wrong.
Well, nobody can see exactly what you're seeing. So.
Humans have 3 cones in our eyes. That's what makes the colors. Kind of like RBG. Red, blue, green. But not really. Anyway, some women have a 4th cone. So some women have a 4th cone in their eye, and only women, there's no men that have a 4th cone. And they can see literally 16,000 more colors than the rest of us normal people.
So do you know what color blindness is? Is that lacking of a cone? Or
I think so, yeah. Yeah, because you can be colorblind without seeing blues, without seeing reds, and without seeing greens, I think. So, I don't know, but yeah, I do believe that you're like missing a cone. If you're really interested in it, a long time ago they did was it Radiolab? Yeah, they did a Radiolab episode, and it was all about the color, about cones. You just have to Google Radiolab, like cones, color, spectrum, or something like that.
Cool. I didn't know that about the 4th cone.
Yeah. Yeah, they talk about it in that episode, and I was like, ooh, maybe I have a 4th cone. That'd be so cool.
I mean, I'm sure there's tests out there that can gauge your, like, sensitivity and probably tell you.
Probably. Yeah, that'd be fucking dope. Okay. Wait, do you want to ask these questions like how you're answering for me, or should I just ask them like asking you the question? What do you prefer?
That doesn't matter.
Okay.
We'll see how it goes.
What reality show do you think I'm most likely to binge watch? Explain.
That I think you're going to binge watch? Ooh. I'm trying to think of some like design show, but I don't like some architectural design. I feel like if there was like an architecture like HGTV of like historic homes,
that's what I would
like
watch.
You would probably like something like that.
Reality TV show. This is gonna throw you for a fucking loop. I fucking love watching The Bachelor. I
Is that reality though?
Yeah, that's
No,
like a classic
those are reality
reality
shows.
TV show, I guess.
Yeah, I'm just kidding.
Yeah, no, it's definitely not reality. I like making fun of them. and, and like, but it has to be with a group. But I did binge Paradise Island or whatever that was called last year.
Is that a Netflix one?
Hmm?
Is that a Netflix one, the Paradise
I
Island
don't
one?
know. I can't remember. I think it was on Hulu.
Oh, okay.
I don't know. Okay, I think that you would binge reality TV show. I don't feel like you would watch like maybe something on the History Channel that was like like what is that the fishing ones, or like the gold rush ones.
What? What are you talking about? You think I like history, Becca?
No, it's not. It's on the History Channel, but it's like where they're trying to find gold and stuff in Alaska, like ice road truckers.
I mean, I don't know that I've ever seen Ice Road Truckers, but like if it were the only one that I would say that I do kind of watch, which I kind of mentioned recently, was like Ink Master. I do like that.
Oh yeah,
That one's a reality, I think.
Yeah. That's
Reality
a
drama.
reality TV show for sure.
Yeah. I mean, back in the day, I used to watch those on, like, VH1, like, the Rock of Love and shit like that. Flavor Flav. Like, I watched those when I was a kid. Those are so stupid.
Those are dumb. I love it. I used to watch the tattoo, like, with that lady, Katie Marks? No, Katie. I don't know, like the tattoo lady.
Yeah.
That got, like, super famous. Oh, ooh, this is good. What was your first impression of me when we met on the sidewalk in Minneapolis for Encika?
When we met in person?
Yes.
I mean, initially it was probably like, she's shorter than I thought, or something like that.
That's good. I thought, wow, he's so little.
I think you said that too.
Because you're like a little kid. Like your body's like a high schooler. Okay. Ooh. What do you think I'm most likely to splurge on?
Furniture. A nice piece of furniture. If it's like vintage and like classic, like
You're not wrong.
you would spend some money on that.
Yeah. I would probably spend money on either furniture or technology. That's what I'll splurge on.
Really? I would have thought you would have said like a piece of art. But I think are you kind of past the piece of like the fine piece of art stage?
No.
Because you did go through like a period where you did buy a bunch in the last like year and a half.
Yeah, I had a bunch of money to spend on art. And so I definitely like utilize that. But it's a new year, new budget. No, that's true. I think you're right, actually. Art, like this year, I laid.
Because you can only get so much like furniture.
Yeah.
Like you're only gonna buy a really nice like Eames chair probably once.
Yeah.
Unless you have a lot more space, which I don't see you getting a big place that has a lot of space just so you could fill it with furniture.
Right. And I also do feel like the furniture is like part of the fun of modern furniture is finding it for cheap. Like being able to find it for like a really good price. You know, like my couch that I have, I found for like $200 and it's like a $2,000 couch, you know, or it was not anymore. But, you know, like being able to find something and be like, I got this for $15. It's worth $300.
Or if you saw something that was like really nice that you've always wanted, that is like a diamond in the rough that you would almost never buy,
I would buy it. Yeah.
You would buy it, yeah. Because it's like actually vintage and you couldn't like find it elsewhere. You have to find it in person.
Yeah. I mean, I paid $200 for I think it was either $200 or $150 for the chair in my apartment, the orange one that I have. That's like, it's just like a nice, sleek wooden orange chair and it's beautiful. But then again, I dropped $1,200 on a piece of art this year. So, you know, I definitely would splurge on art more than I would splurge on furniture. I think because I like helping artists out. Like, I like paying art
Yeah.
because it not only satisfies me, but it satisfies somebody else, you know?
Yeah. I think I'm getting more into that
Yeah.
than the last couple of years. Like, the pandemic, but also, like, you want to help your friends out. And also,
Yeah.
like, if you really like somebody, it's like, I appreciate getting something from them.
Yeah.
And then you just kind of hold that bond with them a little bit more, and it's a little bit tighter of a
Totally.
connection you have with them, because it's like they know you appreciate their stuff, and then you know that like you're gonna get a lot of love out of this thing because you see it all the time, and it's gonna remind you of them and
Yeah.
all that kind of thing.
Yeah,
Besides the pottery, like the paintings, like seeing, like getting a bunch of Amruta's paintings.
yeah,
Like we really,
I was just going to say Imruta, yeah. We both have
So-
Imruta's paintings, and, like, I just sat across from her painting, like, that whole day, and I was like, well, fuck. I guess I have to buy this.
yeah.
I think that you would splurge, you're most likely to splurge on travel.
Travel, yeah,
Yeah.
that's probably accurate.
Like food,
I don't do it
specifically
off-
food and travel.
Food and travel, like if we're going somewhere, like actually picking to go somewhere nicer.
Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah. Like, you're gonna, like, you know, when we went on the trip, like, we went to a really nice, like, you guys went to, like, a really nice tiki bar, and we went to, like, a really nice, pasta place, like an Italian place, and, like, you know, it was like $25 a pop, which I don't see you spending normally, so.
Yeah. I mean, I'll still go for something that, like, is within reason. Like,
Yeah.
I might not go for, like, a $45 steak dinner
Yeah.
or something, but if there is one meal that is like that I want to get a steak, because I almost never get steak, then I'll
Yeah.
get something like that
Yeah.
if it's appetizing and it looks good. And I'll also, like, get a drink. Like, normally I'll just get water, but, like, hey, we're on vacation, I'll get a drink.
Right.
And I might get a second drink.
Totally. Yeah, absolutely. In traveling with you, I definitely saw that, and that's good to see, too. You remember that time we were in that bar in Florida, and that guy didn't drink his beer, and so I took it?
Yes. You got out of there for less than $5 on drinks or something?
Yeah.
2 drinks
The-
and $5 or
The
something?
the waitress was like, what do I do with this? And I was like, I'll take it. And he, like, took one drink and left. And she's like, are you sure you want it? And I wiped it off. I'm like, yeah, sure, it's fine. Like,
5-second rule.
in the middle of the pandemic.
That was great.
uh,
Well, I mean, we already waited there for like 40 minutes for our table, and then it's like, all right, we ate at the bar, and we got happy hour drinks, and then you were like, man, I just got an extra drink out of this. Like,
yeah, and the drunk guy next to me was like, fuck, I would for sure take that drink. That's a free fucking drink.
He was like, I'll drink the shit out
I'll
of
drink
that beer.
the
or
shit
something.
out of that beer. Oh, good times. Okay. Anyway.
Yeah, that's probably true. I don't think there's anything else that I necessarily like splurge on.
Oh, cups.
I mean, I do buy pottery. I've brought that down a little bit in the last year or so, maybe.
You have a lot.
Yes, we have a lot, so I try to dwindle them a little bit, or I'll see something, and if it's like I'm getting more into that, like when I know somebody for a while and I know that their shit sells quickly, like I do need to jump on it, and even if I wasn't planning on buying something from them specifically, like I'll buy something that maybe it wasn't my first choice, but I'll get something of theirs.
Yeah. I feel like you're almost to the status that you could probably message them beforehand and be like, dude, can I have this one?
Can I just buy something? Yeah.
Can I just buy this one, please? Yeah. But don't do that because that's rude.
I don't want to do that.
Yeah, that's kind of rude.
Then you're asking for favoritism and like special treatment of like, hey, can we? I mean, I'm sure some people would be like, oh, you could probably just like trade. Hey, do you want to trade?
Yeah.
It's like, no.
Me
I
and
got the
Joe
money.
are
Like,
gonna
I can spend the
trade.
money.
We're gonna trade seconds.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I see him comment on your stuff. He likes it.
Yeah, we've been talking more. He's a cool guy. Or
I see those people sharing the posts about like the numbers from the year. I'm like, man, I need to do something like that. That sounds cool.
yeah, that's cool. That was cool. Like he did that, and then I saw like maybe 3 other people do that, where it was just like, this is how much money I spent this year, and this is how much clay I bought, and this is how, that was cool.
Yeah.
We could do a little when we do our thingy. We can just upload a little post.
Yeah.
Oh, another thing that was fun today. I'm sorry. It was a very exciting day, and I haven't talked to you in a long time. And my friend Allie, as we know, Becca would much prefer plastic over pottery. And I have a mad love affair with vintage Tupperware. And Allie got me vintage Tupperware cups and Tupperware containers on eBay for Christmas, and it might be the best Christmas present.
I thought she had those already.
It might be the best Christmas present I've ever gotten. They're great.
Gosh.
They're like,
I saw those cups and I'm like, my grandfather still has cups like that.
Yeah. They're fantastic.
Pretty good.
And they're all the colors
like
too.
And it had the the Tupperware lids that have like the sun.
Yeah, it's like the crinkle lid. The crinkle lid.
Right. Yep.
So good. It just makes me think of frozen spaghetti for some reason. That's what my mom would always freeze the spaghetti sauce in. Anyway.
All right. What's the next question?
Okay. Oh, this is fun. What does my Instagram tell you about me?
That you give no shits.
That's true. And what does yours tell me about you?
Like you're not gonna pander. You're not gonna bullshit people. You're not gonna do this like fluff that you're just trying to get the likes. Like you don't give a shit. Like this whole like I see people posting top 9s. I don't know how the fuck to do that. Don't expect it.
Andrew like messaged me and he was like, I'm cracking up that you have 400 likes on a post that literally says, I don't know how to do the top 9s. Like, I'm not doing a top 9. I don't know how to fucking do that. There's like 500 likes on that post. I was like, that's ridiculous.
That's pretty good too, because they started changing algorithms once Reels went out, and every 2 out of every 3 posts is a reel in your feed now. So if you see a post that's just picture, like, that's surprising that you got that much traction on it.
That's true. Well, first off, my Instagram tells me that you're a cat dad. And, well, your Instagram tells me that you're a cat dad. And
Marble's been featured in there quite a bit the last couple weeks.
You like rubber gloves when you glaze. Cleanliness.
I don't like chalky hands.
Cleanliness is important, people.
I don't like dry hands.
I feel like also your Instagram like tells me that you care, but not enough. Like like just enough. Like you care enough to take a really nice picture, but not enough to like put it in front of a white background. You're gonna put it in front of your kiln. Like, yeah, it's like you care, but like C's get degrees kind of situation. Like, or B's get degrees.
Like I'm not editing these photos.
Yeah.
I feel like the other thing that it tells people, and I don't know if this always, that like I value making a lot of stuff. Can you see that scrolling? Like, there's always a lot of stuff in there.
Yeah, there is a ton of stuff.
That it's like, I know I kind of seem like I'm like a minimalist, like personally, like I don't need a lot, but I like the showing of like a lot of things.
I don't know if I'd seen this picture of you holding all of those bowls and looking so serious. Like
the one where I'm kind of crouched on my knee.
No, I've seen that one where you're crouched on your knee. No, it's this one where you're holding all of the bowls.
That was just to be funny. Yeah.
And you're just like, Marp. Oh, that's funny. Okay. Next up. Ooh, I think we've done this before, but we're doing it again. What do you think my go-to karaoke song is?
Oh, your go-to karaoke song. I mean, I feel like you sing a lot of things. I don't know why "Don't Stop Believing's" coming in my head, but I don't think that's right. I don't think that's right. I can't even think of another song. Like, it's not. Girls just want to have fun. I don't know.
You know what, girl? That was a good guess. That's a good guess. Same genre. No, actually, no. My go-to karaoke song is "Goodbye Earl" from the Dixie Chicks.
Oh, Dixie Chicks.
Yeah.
The Chicks.
I'm sorry, the Chicks. Sorry, my '90s came out.
Goodbye Earl. Man, I listen to like '90s country shuffle, and it's like, I feel like there's not enough of those different chick songs in there. It's just Goodbye Earl, and I'm like, give me another one.
Oh,
give
yeah,
me Wide Open Spaces.
The Chicks,
give me something else here.
They had great music. Like they had pretty good music. So, okay.
Born to Fly, I think, or some. I don't know.
I think
we had those CDs.
Let's see. First of all, I don't ever see you singing karaoke. Second of all,
I would not.
Second of all, if
That
you
wouldn't
did,
happen.
like if you were drunk as shit, I see you singing a Shania Twain song just to be funny.
I don't think so. Which one? Which one do you think?
Oof. Probably, man, I feel like a woman. Like
I don't think so.
or that don't impress me much.
Oh. I don't know why I'm blanking on like Shania songs, but I'm trying to think of my favorite one, but it's probably, I do like that Don't Impress Me Much.
It's a good one. Do you know what song I hate from hers but also love? Like I love to sing it, but I just hate the song. Is the Every Man of Mine. I don't know what it's called, but like she's basically like, if I show up, you still have to be on time, and if I'm ugly, you still have to look good. And I'm like, you bitch. like
I like what was the one you said that Don't Impress? I like From This Moment On, I think.
Oh, that's
I
a
like
good
that
one.
That one's probably my favorite of hers. I would probably say like a Garth Brooks song.
I don't know any Garth Brooks songs, so I couldn't really pull his out. But
Yeah, I mean, I was thinking like Friends in Low Places,
that's a good
or
song.
that's a classic. I feel like you get a lot of people join
What
in for that
about
one.
what is the Badonkadonk song? Is that Garth Brooks?
No, that's Trace Atkins, but
What about Beer for Our Horses?
that's Toby Keith.
That's a good song too.
No, probably be Garth Brooks.
Garth Brooks. Yeah. It has to be country, clearly.
Yes, it's got to be country.
I feel like karaoke is just a great place for country music. It's where you can be bad at it, but still sound kind of okay.
You know what was awesome? At that conference I went to in Raleigh, the end of the night was not country. It was karaoke. And they had a traveling live band that they hired to come there, and the band was there for karaoke, and then you got to sing one of their songs so a live band was playing the song while you were singing.
That would be
pretty cool.
Terrifying.
Yes. But everybody was into it. I mean, it was after everybody's been drinking all night.
Yeah.
There was a concert before it.
That's cool.
And they had live karaoke. It was pretty sweet. It was just the last. There was like 100 people there left at the end of the night, so it wasn't a ton of people, but they killed it pretty good.
Wow, that's cool. This is something that a lot of people don't know, is that I have insanely bad stage fright. Like,
I mean, I would be fucking terrified.
I get up and I shake. I can sing really well. Like, I'm not like busting, like, boasting or anything, but I am a very good singer. However, I am horrible if I get in front of a crowd. So there is that. Unless it's like,
Do you feel that like when you're Clay Con West and stuff when you're talking?
no, not as much then. I think it's just when I sing.
Okay.
Unless I'm singing,
I mean, I could see
badly.
that. I mean, the thing is, you don't. The thing when you're just talking in a presentation, like it's your words and your content that's coming through.
Yeah.
The singing is like there's a comparison, so
Yeah.
it's like, and you can't exactly hear yourself when you're singing.
Yeah.
Like what your voice sounds like when you're singing, so it's like
Totally.
you always hear.
Well, and also like when you're
Good in your
talking at like ClayCon West, or like when we were doing the Indiana Clay Conference, it's like the audience is there and they're like participating with you. Like, and if in karaoke, like I am totally fine if we're gonna sing Queen, like Bohemian Rhapsody, and everybody in the bar is gonna sing it. Like, sign me up. I will be busting out so loud. But like if I'm like standing up there in front of everybody, that's when it's hard.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Okay. I'm just going to say, who is your celebrity crush? I don't want to guess it.
Yeah, because you probably won't know.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think her name. She's on, she was an actress on Rules of Engagement, which is like a comedy sitcom. Her name is like Bianca Coolidge or something like that.
Let's see. Rules of Engagement.
Did you ever watch that show? It had David Spade on it.
I did not. Cast. Bianca Kaljic?
Yeah. I like her.
Oh, yeah. What else is she in? Let's see if we can find something that...
She was actually in, she was in another movie when she was younger that was like, she was in a comedy.
Rock Me Baby?
No.
Undateable?
It was like, she was in Bring It On, actually. I didn't realize that.
No, she wasn't. Was she really?
She was. She was the one that like fell and broke her arm.
Oh, yeah.
But I liked her mostly from...
Oh, she was in Bosch.
I never watched that. Is that that's like a drama, right?
Yeah, it's yeah, it's on Prime. Cool. I'm gonna choose somebody that's not. I'm not gay. However, I am going to choose a female because you can as a celebrity crush. Surprise!
Okay.
I'm not gay. In case you didn't know, because obviously I'm a fake lesbian. No, that's just what we make fun of me for, that because everybody thinks I am, which is totally fine. I love it. I'm choosing Miley Cyrus in current form. Like current, most recent form.
Really?
Yes.
She's on. Did you watch her on like the New Year's Eve stuff?
Yes. She's hot as fuck, first of all. And her voice is so good. Like, she's just really good.
Her singing voice or her like regular voice?
Her singing voice. Her singing voice. Like, she's very talented, like she's got chops,
Yeah.
And
have you heard her regular voice talk?
I have.
It's kind of raspy.
It is kind of raspy, and it's got a twang.
It's kind of like smoker's cough. Kinda.
It is definitely like, yes, it's definitely like 90s grandma talk. Like, that's what it sounds like. But she's beautiful. Like, she's beautiful, and she's like, I don't know. I like that she's gone through this whole transformation, like, of being like Hannah Montana to like, it was like hardcore preacher's kid situation. So it was like Hannah Montana, and then like off the deep end, and now she's like kind of like finding herself and like finding,
Yeah.
So, and her music is great, and so that's my answer.
Okay.
Mostly because I just watched her New Year's Eve thing yesterday.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's a little recency bias here. Is there any non-recency bias person?
I don't know if I've ever had a celebrity crush, honestly. I wouldn't even say that Miley Cyrus is a celebrity crush. I just really admire her.
Okay.
Nope.
Nobody else. All right.
I mean, I don't know, like, there's just a lot of men, and they're all the same, and they're all just like,
They're all the same.
bleh. I guess George Clooney, he's pretty good looking.
Yeah. Okay. My only other one that I was thinking of, her name is Rosalind Sanchez.
Okay.
Do you know who that is?
No, I'm looking her up. Ooh.
She's in a handful of movies.
Yes. She's very pretty. Very pretty indeed. She was in Rush Hour 2, Fantasy Island, Boat Trip, Chasing Poppy, Grand Hotel. Yes.
Yeah. All right. What we got next?
Oh, right. What character would I play in a movie?
You'd be like the funny best friend.
Yeah, that's true. I'm like the Jar Jar Binks. Oh, you don't know that reference.
I don't know that reference.
I'm like the comedy relief.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Are they like the one that like you can't take them seriously?
Yeah. I'm fine with being the fat funny friend though. Totally fine with that. I'll take it. I think that you would be like the hacker, like the computer hacker that like is kind of like hauled up in his basement but like is really cool and like can figure everything out in like a heist movie,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's you.
Okay. I mean, I am in my basement a lot, and I can figure some stuff out.
Yeah. Speaking of basements, how do you like being in the basement right next to your studio? Do you like that, or did you like the separation of your office upstairs?
I mean, I really like it because it's just like if I just need to go over there for something, like if I get an order during the middle of the day, like I can just go over there and get my piece and like pack it up. Like, it's nice not having to walk up and down 2 flights of stairs.
Yeah.
And just period of like not having to walk up a bunch of flights of stairs all the time. I mean, I do feel like I hole up down here a little bit and just don't have to leave the basement for like anything a lot of times.
Yeah.
Except to eat. But yeah, but it's also nice that I have like some sunlight, so I'm not like holed up in the basement with no sun.
Yeah.
So that's nice.
That is.
But yeah,
nice.
I don't mind it. Like everything is right here,
Yeah, that is convenient.
Between the studio right there, the kilns over there, like it's nice.
Indeed.
I mean, it is kind of a shit show down here. Of anywhere else in the house, this is probably the most like junkiest area still.
Yeah. You'll figure it out.
But yeah.
Okay, next one. How many speeding tickets do you think I've gotten in my life?
2.
I wish. Okay, I'm going to guess yours before I answer mine. I think you've gotten 1.
I've gotten 0.
Damn it, I was going to guess 0. Because you tried
I think I've been pulled over once. I mean, I've been pulled over once, I think, for speeding, maybe. But it was a warning. I think it was on the way back from Louisville, going back to school or something. I did not get a ticket, though. I think I got a warning. It on the interstate?
I'm trying to think of how many times I've been pulled over versus gotten tickets.
I think I've only been pulled over like 3 times, maybe twice.
I've gotten pulled over at least 10 times.
Wow.
At least.
At least 10 times. Okay.
At least 10 times. And I have gotten at least 6 tickets.
6 speeding tickets?
Yes, and none of them have been for less than 15 over.
Oh my god. Are most of those pullovers because you're speeding?
Yes.
Okay. So, like, the 6 of them, you've gotten off of 3 or 4 of them.
Yeah.
Okay.
Some of them I got off because of my bumper stickers. So, like, one time in high school...
As we hear the cops in the background. Are they coming for you, Becca?
Yes.
Have you been speeding?
One time in high school, I was driving to work. I worked at Starbucks, and it was 7 a.m. or 6 a.m. or something. And I got pulled over, and I had a bumper sticker on the back of my car that says, "I bet Jesus would have used his turn signal." And the cop came up, and he, serious. He goes, "Oh, well, I bet Jesus would have gone the speed limit." And I looked at him and I was like, "I bet he would have." And he gave me off with a warning. I haven't gotten any speeding tickets in Indiana yet. I got 2 speeding tickets in... Wait, we're not counting traffic light tickets, right? Like the ones where they take pictures of you and send you a ticket.
I have got a couple of those, actually.
I mean, does it count if you were speeding and they take a picture of you? Because
I think mostly do they take a picture of you while you're speeding? I thought it was mostly because you run a red light.
in Tacoma, they do.
Oh,
Tacoma,
really?
Washington,
Okay.
they do. So I've gotten 3 speeding tickets in Washington. So 3 speeding tickets in Washington. Oh my God, I don't even know how many in high school. Like, I can't remember if I got any in college. I'm sure I did. And
Well, I mean, you've probably driven way more than I have. I mean, you've probably driven
that's
5
true.
times as much as I have.
And
or 10
also,
times as much as I
to
have.
be fair, my high school was 30 miles away from my house. So driving to high school,
Holy crap.
there was a lot more opportunities.
Oh, yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, you've driven so many more miles than I have that you're just...
And the
bound
back
to
roads
get-
of Colorado, they're only 40 miles an hour. And if you're not going 70, you're like...
70
They're
on a back road?
They're straight and long. And, like, I don't even know why they're, like, 35, 40 miles an hour. I don't even know if they're 40. They might be 35.
Maybe it's if there's something in the road, you can actually avoid it and not be in a fucking ditch and dead.
Well, you know what? You can have your opinion. I'll have mine.
I don't know. I mean, there's a reason it's 40.
Thankfully, I've never gotten a reckless driving ticket.
Okay.
So that's good. One time I
I've
almost got a ticket, and I almost took a road sody with me after eating breakfast with a bunch of Canadians who gave me a beer.
Really?
Yeah,
Okay.
I was going 55 and a 25 that time.
Oh my gosh.
That was in Washington. Yeah.
Yeah, the only like tickets I've got have been in Florida because they have more in Fort Lauderdale when I've traveled for work. And I like one of them was not stopping on red before turning right. I kind of did the whole like the light was changing and it went red and I kind of like slowed and went to beat the traffic.
Yeah.
And then the other one I did run a red light traffic light when it hit red, and then you go, you finish and go through it, and they snap your photo, and you get it sent. Yeah.
Yeah. I always love those. Those are great. Those are my favorite. One time in Washington we're going to count this as a ticket because he did physically hand me a ticket, but he forgot to file it. It was in high school, Right after I graduated high school, I went to Washington for a week to visit my uncle. And I was driving in Bellevue and this downtown, and this motherfucking cop, motorcycle cop, standing on the side of the road, waved me over. It was the most humiliating ticket I've ever gotten in my life. Like, he just, like, stepped out into the street.
So he didn't even get on his motorcycle?
No, he just stepped out into the street and, like, waved me to the side. I was like, oh, okay.
That was the one that forgot to give you the actually file?
Yeah, he forgot to file it, thank God. Yeah. Okay. Next one. What subject do you think I thrived in at school, and did I fail any classes or any subjects?
Thrived. For some reason, I'm reading like a social studies vibe, sort of.
History?
History, social studies kind of thing.
Like civics?
Yeah. I mean, grade school, you didn't really have civics. You had social studies, I guess. But
Let's think high school.
Or we did. High school?
Yeah, let's do high school, because I can't think of you lower than high school.
Okay. Yeah, I'm thinking like, yeah, that's good.
History,
social studies, stuff like that. And failed? I think you actually failed?
This should be an easy question, because I went to college. Out of state.
I mean, you didn't, probably.
No, you can't actually go to college in California if you get less than a C on anything. Which I did beg the Spanish teacher to give me a C. She gave me a pity C, for sure. I would say probably history, yes. I did well in math, really well in math. But like the earlier stages of math, not like physics.
Like pre-algebra, algebra.
Yeah, I did good in algebra, not physics. Like, I remember going up to the math teacher and being like, okay, should I be taking physics or should I be taking chemistry?
Wait, you went to the math teacher to talk about physics?
Well, he was the physics teacher too.
Oh, okay.
I went to a very small school.
Okay.
My graduating class was 23.
Okay. I mean, there's some close connections there with physics and math.
Yeah.
I mean, it was considered a science in mine, but
Yeah.
I could see how there's some overlap.
I took chemistry instead of physics, and I almost failed that too.
Oh gosh, chemistry was like the hardest
Yeah.
class or one of the hardest classes I ever took.
Yeah, but like the thing about it is that I went to a Christian school and the teachers were really lax, like super lax. Even though we were really intelligent kids, like the teachers were like, meh, we'll just give you a couple points. Like, it's fine. Except for the math teacher.
Were y'all like college prep? Is it because they like realized like y'all are going to be set for college? So they like were a little lax, or they just...
I think so. I don't know. It's not really. It wasn't really college prep. Like, I was fine in college. Like, I felt like I literally was capable. Like, I had to take an early math class because I didn't reach some credit in school, and everybody in there was like, I don't understand how to do this. And I was like, what are you talking about? This is so easy. But I think that just has to do with me too. But I do feel like I did get a good education, but it was just really weird. You know, it was just like an odd one.
Yeah. Did you have to study a lot and stuff?
Yeah, kind of. Yeah. I skirted my way. I feel like I just skirted my way through high school. Yeah. But definitely history was definitely the thing. Okay, I think that you did well in... We're not counting extracurriculars. So,
No.
I think that you did...
You can't say bowling.
No.
I'm just kidding.
I think you did well in English.
Are you going to say the fail one?
Oh, yeah, you didn't fail any classes. Let's be real.
No. What was my worst class that I ever took?
Oh, Spanish.
Yeah. Okay. Best... I was not the strongest in English. I mean, I was still strong in English, but I was best in math.
Okay, I was gonna maybe guess math, but...
They kind of have tiers of, like, the number system of how they group students.
Yeah.
So when you get placed in classes, you kind of test and they say, okay, it started at level 1 and then it went 1, 3, 5, 7, 9.
Okay.
So 1 was like, think of like AP students, the top students in the thing. Like math, I was like 3, 5 range.
Okay.
And then like science, I was like 5-ish. English, I was like 5, 7 range.
Okay.
Because I like really sucked at reading.
Oh.
I was not a good reader.
I'm not a good reader either.
And they don't really split out like comprehension and spelling.
Yeah.
So like it's all one, and it's like writing papers. Like I was okay at writing papers, but when it came to like reading assignments, I fucking sucked at that.
Yeah. My reading level in high school was a 3rd grade reading level. Like, it was bad. Like, my cousin's kid who was 6 years old could read better than I could. Like,
wow.
It was
bad. I went to actually went to like a reading prep thing when I was, I think right when I got in high school. It was like after school.
Did you go to Sylvan?
Help. No, it was like Sylvan though. It was called Huntington Learning Center.
Oh.
Do you know what that's probably, I think it's local to Kentucky,
Probably.
but it was kind of like Sylvan though. It was just like you just do these reading assignments and then you like work one-on-one with somebody to like answer questions and see how you did, and I'm sure the assignments are tailored to certain reading levels and you try to improve, but it's like it's really just giving you more practice so you do better. But I just had struggle with comprehending. Like I read so slow that I read word for word.
Yeah.
Apparently you're supposed to read like the word before and then the word after, and you're kind of like flowing through stuff and like comprehend it. But I was so slow that I'd have to reread stuff.
That's hard.
And that's probably why I don't like reading. That's why I hate to read.
Probably.
Because like it's never enjoyment.
That makes a lot of
me,
sense.
So.
Yeah, you know what's funny is that like okay. Your brother's older than you, right?
Yeah, he's 4 years older.
And he's really intelligent, right?
Yeah.
Did he do well in school?
Yeah, he did. I'm trying to remember what he was strongest at. He was probably the strongest in science, I think.
That makes sense. So I have an older brother and an older sister, and the thing that you have to understand about my family is that I'm the only one without a genius IQ. So, and I'm a fucking smart human being, right? But like my sister and my brother did really, really well in school, except for my brother didn't do well in English for probably the exact same reason you didn't do well in English. And so like, and they were close enough in age that I had to like follow that. And so by the time I got to high school, I was like, C's get degrees. It's fine. I'm not going to try because I can't live up to that. Like my sister was in,
like they knew your name, and
like,
I'm sure it was all the same teachers because it was a smaller
it's a small school. There was maybe 8 teachers and there was 100 people in the whole school, in the whole high school.
Yeah.
And I had been there since I was in kindergarten. Like it's a K through 12 school.
Oh, yeah.
And so, like, everybody knew who I was. My mom worked there. And by that time, it was like, and like, there's only 23 people in the class. I was the top female in the class.
Wow.
So there was only 5.
How many were in your class?
5 females in the class, and I was the top.
How many total students were in your class?
23.
Oh my gosh.
And so, but also the thing about my class was that all of the guys were the smart ones. So like I was number 8 out of 23, top female, number 8. Every single guy above me played all 3 sports, were all in AP classes, all went to like fucking Ivy League schools, like we're all amazing at school. And so like I was the top normal person. But like,
did they rank it based on your GPA, or they rank it based on your college scores?
It was the GPA.
Like your oh, okay.
Yeah, but like all of the boys that were above me.
Plus, if you're an AP, you're on a scale of like 6 or 5 instead of 4.0. It's like 5 or 6.
Yeah, it was like 4.8, 4.4, 4.3, and I had a 3.8.
Right.
I think, and I never took an AP class. I had no interest in that stuff. And my mom, like at some point, my mom was like, just do good on this test, please, and I'll give you a pair of shoes. Like, I saw this comic from Calvin and Hobbes that was like when the girl gets an A, and she's like, yes, I got an A. And then he looks over and he's like, oh, sucks for you. She's like, why? And he's like, if you tell them, if you like always get an A, they're always going to expect an A. But if you give them a C, then you have a lot more wiggle room for expectations.
A lot of room to go up.
You know? And so I like read that when I was in junior high and I was like, that's how I want to live my life. And so I did.
Nice.
It worked out.
What was my worst? English wasn't technically my worst class I ever
History.
took. I mean, I probably did get some C's in history, or like a C, maybe B minus, but my worst class that I ever took that was the hardest was AP Statistics. That was my only AP class I ever took.
That was a high school class?
Yes. It was like an elective. I'm like, what? Because I really liked math, and I'm like, okay, that's still math, and it's like, it's the AP level. It's not like AP Calculus, which is like the only other AP math class.
Yeah.
So I was like, I'm not taking calculus. So I did that. It was so hard. It was so confusing. Like p-values and all that stuff is so, ugh.
All the science classes were my worst. I fucking sucked at science. So bad.
Science was probably my second best. I don't consider like art in there, but like math, then science.
I hated art in high school. Because my art teacher never said anything was wrong. I was like,
oh, they always boost you up.
Yeah, I was like, come on.
Like if you got it complete, they're like, all right, participation, you're good.
Pretty much. Yeah, Spanish was probably my worst, honestly.
Spanish was kind of tough.
Oh,
I only took 1 or 2 classes of that though.
I had to take 2 years of a foreign language to get through. And I took 1 year of Spanish, and then I ended up taking 2 years of German at the community college because Spanish was obviously not going to work out. And the second year of German, I found out that one of my teachers, who's my music teacher, who's like closer to our age, she was like 25 when she was our teacher, and I was in high school. Mm-hmm. Her mom mastered in German, and so I went over to her house and took the test with her at their house.
Oh my gosh.
And basically cheated my whole way through German. It was great. Yes. I'm not proud of my life, but you know what? Here I am.
Oh, man.
Oh. Are you ready for the last question that I have?
Sure.
Wait.
Are you going to open up that other game, though?
Oh, the book? We might do a fun... Yeah, those are like really intellectual questions. Okay, what fast food restaurant are you most likely to drive through, and what's your order?
Oh, fuck. I don't know, like Chick-fil-A spicy chicken sandwich with a sweet tea.
You?
You.
Oh, me. That is incorrect.
Okay.
I think for you, I'll tell you after I think for you. I think you, apart from, is Chipotle fast food?
No.
Okay. I think, what's that chili place called? Gold Star.
That's not my favorite, but okay. What am I ordering there?
Chili, I guess. I've never been there. What?
He goes to a chili place and he orders chili.
Is your favorite Raising Cane's?
I mean, if we're just talking in general, like go to, I mean, I do love Raising Cane's, but if we're going for like long term, like, I mean, McDonald's classic or like Wendy's classic. I mean, if I said Wendy's, okay, what would I get at Wendy's?
Five biggie bag.
What is
$5
that?
biggie bag?
I mean, they didn't have that back in the day. But...
Oh, you don't go to Wendy's now? I go to Wendy's like, that's my answer.
Is it $5 biggie bag?
Wendy's is my favorite fast food restaurant.
Their chicken nuggets are my favorite.
Their chicken nuggets are solid.
Spicy nuggets and junior bacon cheeseburger normally, and then probably a small fry.
So, you would want the 4 for $4.
4 for $4. Okay. What's the 5? What's in the extra
Okay,
5?
so the
Is it a Frosty
$5
or something?
Here's the difference. The $5 biggie bag has a double stack, and
Oh, that is good.
it's a good.
It's like a McDouble, but
Yeah.
Wendy's McDouble.
So the 4 for $4 has a junior bacon cheeseburger, or it's got an option for what you want for your sandwich, and then chicken nuggets, a small fry, and a small drink.
That's me. Yep.
The $5 biggie bag has nuggets, fries, but they're medium fries, and then a bigger sandwich, so the double stack. So that's what
Double stack, or they probably have some kind of like chicken sandwich or something like that, maybe.
Yeah, I'm about to get super judged for this, but I only like ketchup and pickle on my burgers because that's what my brother always ordered when I was younger, and so that's what I always ordered when I was younger, because I had to be like him, and so that's just what I like, and I always put French fries on it. Gotta pack the fries on.
Okay.
Yeah, so I always get the $5 biggie bag.
Yeah, I chuck that pickle. I don't like pickles.
I know
so
you don't.
Get that out of here. That does sound good. I used to get, back in the day when junior bacon cheeseburgers were $1.
Yes.
I'd get like 2 of those. I'd get like a double. I think they used to have a double stack too.
They had a double stack for $1. And now that you think about that, it is disgusting that they had a double stack for $1. Like, wow, how? Like, gross. Still, but
now
still,
you get
even
junior
thinking
bacon
about
cheeseburger. It's like naughty. It's like shreds of bacon, and it's like the patty isn't even as big as the bun.
No.
So it's like, what are we paying for here?
Yeah, I do.
And it's $1.29 probably or something like that.
Yeah. McDonald's, I was never allowed to have McDonald's when I was younger, except for on my birthday. And I've never had a McDonald's hamburger.
Really? Wendy's are probably better, honestly.
Yeah, I know that, but yeah.
And I've not really been around Burger King that much to judge Burger King versus that. But
Burger King's okay. Carl's Jr., which is not a thing around here.
not really.
No, wait.
It's like Hardee's, right?
Yeah, Carl's Jr. is Hardee's. I'm not a fan of Carl's Jr. or Hardee's. There's something that tastes weird. But, I also feel like this question really depends on the area that you're at. Like, we don't have
In-N-Out.
Yeah, like if I was in California, it's gonna be In-N-Out. If I was in Colorado, it's gonna be something else. It's
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Classic fast food burgers, though. That's probably going to be go-to.
For sure. Yeah. Oh, I have another question. I already know this answer, but I think that since we're on the food topic, what is your order at Dairy Queen?
It's got to be the chicken tenders.
No, I mean like ice cream order, not the grill and chill.
Got to start with the 4-piece chicken tenders with the gravy dipping with the fries. Got to dip those tenders in gravy. My order is a Oreo Blizzard.
Oreo. I would have thought you were gonna have a Heath Blizzard.
I'm actually these days I'm probably more Heath because I'm older, but Oreo was the go-to back in the day.
When they still had them, Nerd Blizzards were my fucking jam.
Ew.
So good.
That doesn't sound good.
I know it doesn't sound good, but they were so good. Cookie dough. Cookie dough is my jam. But when I couldn't have gluten, Heath was a really good substitute. So I'm like a tie between Heath and cookie dough, honestly.
Heath, so good.
I like it when they don't mix it all the way and at the bottom it's just ice cream.
You know what I don't like? I think in the last 6 years they started adding chocolate to it.
To the Heath?
To all the Blizzards. No. I think they added a chocolate sauce or something to it.
No, but do you know what you can do, which is really good? It's kind of the chocolate sauce, but if you put the cone sauce, like the hardening sauce, the chocolate hardening sauce in the Blizzard.
Oh, yeah. Like the dip cone sauce?
Yeah, you can ask for the dip cone sauce in the Blizzard. So, if you want vanilla ice cream,
That sounds good.
cookie dough, and the dip cone blizzard stuff. Oh, that's really good. I do love a classic cone, though. Just like a classic vanilla cone.
I used to get dip cones before I got the Blizzard.
Did you ever get the cherry
Good.
dip cone?
No. What is that? Instead of chocolate,
Yeah,
it's like a cherry coating?
I never got the cherry.
No, I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
That sounds like a hard candy. Was it like that? Or
It was
chocolate?
just like the chocolate, but it was cherry. I don't know. It's just wax.
No. Okay.
Did you ever get the hard shell at home? Like, did your mom ever buy the hard shell?
Like the dilly bars?
No, but dilly bars are delicious. No, like you can get it at the grocery store. You shake it up and put it on your ice cream at home, and it hardens up.
Oh, no.
So good.
Basically, dip cone is what that sounds like.
It is. Yeah, but it's at home.
Yeah. Heath, go to. Man, if they had Score, that would be better. Score is basically like Heath, but instead of English toffee, it's butter toffee.
Oh, I think I like
Score
English.
is Skor. Have you ever had one of those?
Mm-mm.
Ooh, I used to have them at Walgreens all the time.
I feel like your mom was the one who introduced Heath bars to me because I hadn't really had a Heath bar before your birthday when we had the Heath Dilly bars.
Oh, yeah.
And then that's when I started getting Heath Blizzards, and I was like, shit.
She loves Heath. Yeah.
The problem is that those are really hard on your teeth. That's what I don't like about it.
Kind of like Butterfingers.
Yeah. Ooh, I can't do Butterfingers. Ooh. Let's see.
Moving on. What is this book, by the way?
This book is called The Book of Questions by Gregory Stock, Ph.D., revised and updated.
Okay.
Okay, here's a fun one. You meet someone at a party and absolutely know that if you talk to him, he'll make you tens of millions of dollars. But after 2 years, you'll go bankrupt and have to scramble to get back on your feet. Would you start the conversation? Assume that if you do, your knowledge of what's in store for you will vanish.
Probably not.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
Like, what is that emotional toll going to be after 2 years?
After 2 years.
Like, what state are you in? I would be miserable if that happened. Like, is it just the money that you got from him that you lose? Or is it
No, you'd be bankrupt.
everything? Oh, that sounds miserable.
That does sound miserable. I wouldn't want that. I don't think that I want to live through 2 blissful years just to live in misery after that.
Yeah.
Nope. Okay.
That sounds like a too good to be true scenario there.
For real. If a crystal ball could tell you the truth about any one thing about yourself, life, the future, or anything else, what would you want to know and why? I've got the answer for this.
I mean, mine would probably be, am I going to be happy being a full-time potter? That's what I would want to know.
Oh, how dreamy of you. Mine would be, what's going to be the next stock that explodes? Like, I want to know the timeline of, like, a specific stock that will make me rich. Like how I should have stayed in Tesla, you know?
Yeah.
Do you still have Tesla?
Still riding it, baby.
How many shares do you have in Tesla?
I don't know, probably 30 or something.
Shit, man. Killing it.
Got it when it was down at 100 or something. 130 or something.
Yeah, you got it cheap. And it's at $11.99.
Wait, it's at over 1,000?
Yeah.
That's sweet.
Dude, you haven't checked the stocks recently?
No.
Yeah, it's at $11.99.
That's what I do with stocks. I get them and I don't check them.
No. Yeah, I sold it at like 800, and then because I like barely lost any money, I think I lost $24. I only had 3 shares, but I needed to lend some money to somebody, so I sold it, and then it fucking skyrocketed, like in the last couple months.
I probably fibbed a little bit. It probably isn't 30 shares, but it's. Checking it right now. Actually, I do have 36 shares.
Yeah, I think I remember you saying that.
Nice.
That's great. So happy for you, honestly. I'm so,
I'm glad you said that. I mean, not that I would have budgeted either way. Like, I'm not gonna sell it, but
yeah, I mean, well, you started with like, $3,600 and you're at like 36,000. So that's pretty fucking great. So congrats.
cost basis is at 224.
Okay. Nice.
Pretty good.
I'm proud of you and happy for you. So that's what I would want to know. I would want to know like some crazy stock of like what to make me a quick meal.
I mean, I just think of it like, what companies do you know of that you could not see going away in like 5 or 10 years? Like, what do you think's gonna last the test of time?
No.
That like it might,
I'm thinking more of what companies are starting that you don't know are going to be big. Like when Amazon started and nobody knew that it was going to be like the thing,
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's too late to like. I mean, you could still make money on it, but it's gonna have to skyrocket even ridiculous.
Yeah.
Even more ridiculous.
I mean, it's not like when it started, like it's gone up 2,000. Amazon has gone up $2,000 in 5 years. So, yeah. Started in 97.
I got a couple Amazon.
Crazy. Ooh, would you like to be famous? If so, for what? What if you knew it meant that within a few years you'd lose all your current friends and never develop new relationships that were as meaningful? I don't like these questions. These seem very...
I don't...
They seem like very, like, obviously I wouldn't become famous if I didn't lose my friends. Like, if I lost my friends.
Yeah, they're giving you a caveat. They're like, would you do this given that the people you're playing this game with in this room will not like you anymore?
Okay, let's start with the first one. Would you ever want to be famous?
Sure. Not really. And then what do you consider famous? Like, you go somewhere and people know who you are, like, immediately?
Yeah, I think so.
Or is it, like, famous in your small town? Is it famous, like, nationally? Famous in your niche?
Right, because you're kind of famous.
I would say, like, famous in my niche. It's kind of cool that, like, only when you're put in situations where, people might know who you are when you're in a certain scenario. But if you're just going about your day, like, people don't know who you are.
Yeah. I call that secretly famous. You're secretly famous. Ooh. Under what circumstances, if any, would you want to watch a public execution in person?
Oh my gosh, what?
What about a graphic video of it posted online?
What? They said under what circumstance?
If any, would you want to watch a public execution in person?
In person? Oh my gosh. I mean, I'm sure there's like animal executions, like a bullfight.
Yeah, but you wouldn't want to watch one, would you?
No. They're trying to get at your like deepest hatreds here.
Yeah, there's a lot of questions in here about sex and stuff in here, and obviously I'm not going to ask those questions.
I don't even know if I'd want to go to like a bullfight. I think my mom went to one when she was in Spain.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
That's cool. Well, I used to sit on the table at work while the trimmers were trimming and Dusty was throwing and asked these questions every day after lunch. Ooh, what do you like the best about your life?
Probably like not having to worry about money at all.
Yeah, that is nice. You're very privileged in that regard. Yeah.
Yeah, I can imagine how stressful it could be for people that are just like, you have to basically like come up with something kind of out of thin air, or you've got to like scrounge around and figure out what you're going to do like days at a time.
Yeah. For sure. I think what I like the best about my life is my freedom. Like I'm not like really attached to anything, you know.
Mm-hmm.
And so like I can go for a month, like I'm leaving for a month. And I have that freedom to do that, you know, within my job and within my life. But that comes with money too, you know, but I mean,
Yeah.
I'm still going to be making money on my trip, but yeah.
Do you think having, like, I would say excess of something, whether it's like freedom or time or whatever, does that make you like appreciate it less? Because I'm like,
I think that
if I don't worry about money, does that mean that I appreciate money less? Like, it's not as important to me as somebody who needs to really like dig for every cent, you know?
I think that completely depends on how you got to the situation in the first place. So like I can appreciate my freedom because I lived for 10 years without any, you know? Like without any, like I had no money.
You didn't have any free time, and yeah,
Right.
you had to work, or else you couldn't basically pay your bills or
Right. And I think that like, you know, especially like when it comes to money, like there's a lot of people that appreciate money a lot more because they didn't come from any money. You know? Like my dad didn't come from any money, so he kind of like holds tight to it, you know? And I think that he appreciates the opportunities that it gives to him more than a lot of people, you know?
yeah.
Not to change the subject, but didn't you want to run something past me?
Yeah, I wanted to ask you about an idea I had.
We should do that.
Okay. You want to close it out with that today?
Yeah, let's do that.
Okay. So, sorry, I was distracted looking at my stocks and stuff since you mentioned
I'm sorry.
it. Glance at it and close out of it.
Yeah, that's what I do too.
That's the nice thing. I feel like it's not healthy to just dig in and always look at it day to day.
Yeah.
I mean,
Buy it and leave it.
Long-term gain.
Buy it and leave
Not
it.
selling anything short-term. Okay, so the idea was I'm going through the winter and I'm hiring a new studio assistant, and I'm going through figuring out ways of improving my process and kind of seeing if there's a way that I can get a little bit of help in the winter. And I'm like, would it be a good idea to do kind of like a weekend apprenticeship is kind of what I was thinking of it as, where somebody would like come to my studio and I would kind of teach them parts of my process so that they can, one, learn how to make certain forms and know how to like kind of work production sort of in my world of what I would normally do. They get to like learn how to make forms, and I also teach them like how I do things around my studio, and they would walk away they would get paid for it. They would also get to like stay here physically
Oh, okay.
for those days. Ideally it would be somebody that could like drive here. That way they drive and I'm still paying them something, and they get to, I mean, it's kind of like hopefully they're kind of like intermediate skill level, and they're kind of figuring out what to do in a studio or setting up their own home studio. It'd be good for somebody in that situation, or they're starting to like sell. So it'd be kind of like a studio practice, but also like some business things.
So, okay. So, like, you're hoping this is what you're hoping for. You're hoping because you're thinking, hey, maybe I don't want to have somebody fully, you know, that comes back weekly, but more have.
Well, I think I would want to have a long-term person, but this would be like a little winter trial period of like, help me get a little bit of stock, but I'm also helping somebody by teaching them something.
Right. Kind
and
of like
it's worth the money for me.
Wow, God, what's the word?
It's kind of like you're shadowing somebody.
Yeah, kind of like a shadow or coaching, like doing like a coaching situation.
It's kind of like it's kind of like one-on-one coaching, but it's like it's tailored to what I make.
Right. And you could ask them like, hey, what would you like to get out of this weekend? And you could talk about those things while they're working.
Yeah, because the things I was a little on the fence about, I was like, is it something that I would pay for them to come to, or is it something that I would want them to pay me? If they pay me, it would need to be more tailored to, like, what do you want to get out of this? And I would need to put more effort in to meet what they want to get out of it. But it could just be like, here's a list of things that I do in my process. Let me know a number of these that you definitely want to hit on, that you want more info, and we can go through it. Or is it like, I'm paying them, so I'm going to kind of set the schedule, and they're going to kind of learn what I kind of have set for those days.
Or is it there's no money exchanged? Where it's just knowledge.
Yeah. I don't know. I mean,
I'm not usually a fan of that, of not paying somebody or not being paid.
I was hoping to, I was thinking the payment would be as like a thank you for helping me out. You actually did like end up producing forms that I was able to use and I'm going to sell.
Yeah, so you're wanting
it was kind of like
to...
it's sort of like a piece rate sort of thing.
Yeah. Okay, so like you're wanting them to come and do kind of like a medium production pottery situation with a little coaching on the side.
Yeah.
Meals provided.
Yeah. So
yeah,
I was kind of I was kind of spitballing it for like an hour one day. It was like, it would be, helping me make work for my studio for the upcoming season, learn about my process, have a place to stay, and then maybe we do a couple outings in Cincinnati. Like we go to the Sign Museum, or we go to something else or whatever, and then we have dinner and lunch and stuff. We could go out to dinner one day. But I was kind of setting up the days. I would kind of spitball the days a little bit, and let me know if this is like too much, and maybe somebody will hear this and be like, that sounds like a lot. And then also, like, how would you go about asking for somebody to do this? Like, what's possible? Is this possible for somebody that's intermediate level skill level? So I was like, okay, I do a bunch of demos. Like day one, I demo like how I throw standing up, how I prep my clay, how I throw spoon rests, and then they would like walk through throwing spoon rests with me, and then we'd have lunch, and then we do another demo, throwing off the hump, throwing shot glasses, and then I'll walk through them with that, how to throw shot glasses, and then I do a demo of like waxing my stuff. They wax a few things, and then demo loading a glaze kiln and firing it. And then they help me walk through doing that. And then we fire the glaze kiln overnight. And then I give them homework of, okay, prep your clay for some spoon rests and shot glasses. And then your homework is to throw 45 spoon rests and 50 shot glasses tonight. And then wax 15 spoon rests and 75 shot glasses.
Tonight?
Like, yeah.
When are you done loading the kiln?
Oh, I would basically show them loading, and then I would just finish loading it or whatever.
I know, but what time are you giving them this homework?
I don't know. I don't know. How long is doing a demo of after lunch, throwing off the hump, them throw a few off the hump, like 5 of them or whatever. I mean, maybe they need more time to just do that. Or maybe we don't even do the kiln part or something. I don't know.
Yeah, okay, here's my thought.
That's why I'm like, is that too much?
Here's my thought.
Go ahead. If
you're getting somebody that's intermediate, they know most of the shit that you're going to talk to them about.
They know throwing off the hump, and they need to know how I throw off the hump so that I can say, this is what I want as an end product.
No, I think that's totally fine to show them that, but they should be knowing their basics of, like, how to load a kiln, how to wax the bases of pieces, like how to do it.
What if they don't have a studio, though?
Why would they be intermediate if they didn't have a studio?
Maybe they work at a community studio.
Okay. Well, I think that you could cater it to...
It's a gauge of...
Yeah, I think you could cater it, but also I do think that, like, let's say you got somebody that knows
Basi-
shit.
Basically, the end result I want is a lot of shot glasses and spoon rest thrown, because I feel like that's easy for somebody to jump in and throw a bunch. And that's why I'm giving them homework of like throwing a bunch of shot glasses and throwing a bunch of spoon rests.
Yeah.
At the end of each day, basically.
So here's my thought. Here's what I would say. I think that where you have, obviously you have value all places, but where your value specifically is in business, digital media, like social media, numbers, analytics, that type of stuff, right? So if somebody's intermediate enough to look at how you do something, like let's say you just like, this is what I would offer. I don't think that you need to do demos on how to do everything. I think that if you want spoon rests and shot glasses, you say, hey, I really need somebody to come and throw some spoon rests and shot glasses, and I would love to teach you some business stuff, like at night.
In exchange
Kind
of thing?
Like in exchange for this, also you'll be getting paid. Like, you know, you won't be getting paid as much as you probably normally would be, but that way you're not like doing a whole fucking demo, like you're not doing a fucking workshop, you know, you're just saying like, hey, this is how I do shot glasses. Today we're going to do shot glasses. Tomorrow we're going to do spoon rests. Do 100 shot glasses today, do 100 shot glasses or 100 spoon rests tomorrow. Like, or how many is reasonable?
It's based on my bats. That's why I was like, do 45 because I have 45 bats. So your homework is to get 45 spoon rests done because that's all the bats I have.
Correct. So, or yeah, split it into half days. So like,
shot glasses, sky's the limit though.
Right. Shot glasses in the morning, or no, spoon rests in the morning before lunch, shot glasses after. And then they can get as many shot glasses as done. And then that night after dinner, and after like you've done that, you go over your business processes, because I feel like that's where, if somebody's going to come and see your work and like do stuff, I feel like that's where they're going to get the most value out of it. Because like,
which is what, like the books and the packing shipping stuff?
Yeah, like packing and shipping.
Or like how I plan what I'm going to make?
Right, or like shows that you're doing, or you know, like how you look up shows, like especially if they're close enough to drive to you, they're going to potentially be in that same area. And if they have questions on how to set up for shows, or how to like like keep their books in order, you know, stuff like that. Or you could cater it to their likings, but I don't think that you need to go through all the like the waxing and the loading and the stuff like that unless they ask for it.
Okay, you know? So you don't think... I was thinking that because it's basically showing them all my studio practice, and it's easier to demo that, and it's more work on me to prep for like giving a business presentation about X, Y, and Z.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
That seems like I'm giving a presentation. And if I'm paying them...
Yeah, but it's not really like, it's not really giving a
you know
presentation. I mean, like just having a chat about something after dinner, it's like what we talk about on a normal basis.
Right.
You know?
Okay, that's true.
It's like them, you're saying like, hey, do you have any questions? Like, I have my computer right here. Do you want to see how I do my spreadsheet?
Oh, that's true.
You know, like...
It's going to need to be a lot of, what do you want to know?
Yeah.
And I'll show you what I know about this thing.
Exactly. Like... What,
rather than like, I'm going to present to you.
Yeah, not that. It's more like having a conversation and having an actual like one-on-one discussion. And you could have them fill out a form beforehand saying like what I would like to get out of this situation, you know? Like have a box thingy and say like, these are all the things that I can show you. Choose 5.
Okay.
And then you can cater it to that person, but then you don't have to work as hard to like flip around. And then they leave being satisfied that they got what they asked for, and you're not showing them a bunch of stuff that they already know how to do.
I think it depends on who it is. Like,
it depends on who it is for sure.
If they, let's say they're early in their like, they have to be skilled enough to be able to like throw off the hump, for instance. I'm pretty positive somebody that's intermediate level throwing wise, they can throw spoon rests and I would be happy with what they produce.
Yeah.
If it's shot glasses, they would need to be able to throw off the hump consistently, and it has to be, you know, they have to be able to churn out like 50 of them in a setting.
Well, and they have to be able to cut them off like you do. I can't even cut spoon rests off like you do.
You mean shot glasses?
Or yeah, the shot glasses.
Yeah. Okay. If we went that route of like business tips in the evening, throwing during the day, like, I mean, I feel like I still need to give them something payment wise, but that
Sure.
seems more equaled out, but maybe not.
Do a piece rate.
Piece rate.
Do 50 cents for a shot glass, or whatever, like, or a much smaller version, like do 25 cents a shot glass and 50 cents a spoon rest or something like that, Like figure out what you can give them based on the cost of your shot glasses. How much are you selling these shot glasses for?
I actually just upped it to $9
Okay.
a piece.
So give them
I feel like
50 cents a shot glass.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm like iffy about it because maybe it's just knowing who would want to do it.
Yeah.
Because I want it to be. I want to know if they're in it for knowing how to like run a studio and like make in production, or if and I can help with some of that, or like maybe they don't know much about like firing their own kilns and loading kilns, or maybe they do,
right?
And they want to know business stuff. So it's like. And maybe it's different. Maybe I have one weekend with somebody that knows nothing about studio practice, and they're thinking about getting a wheel and kiln, and they work at a community studio, and they use all their equipment, but they want to know what it's like to have all that. And then there's somebody that's like, I've never sold online. Like, what do you do for that? Or how do you get into a shop?
Right.
Or something like that.
I think that that's why you should have like an application process, that literally is like, what do you want to know?
Mm-hmm. It's going to be very dependent on, like, you need to ask me questions because I'm not going to necessarily, like, prepare specific things for you if I don't know if that's what's interesting to you.
Mm-hmm. Consultation, that's what I was trying to think of.
I'm in...
Consultation.
Yeah.
Consulting.
Yeah.
Do you like kiwis?
Not. I've never eaten just like kiwi. I've had like strawberry kiwi flavored stuff, but how true is that to actual kiwi?
You've never had a kiwi before? You should have a kiwi.
No.
I'm gonna bring you a kiwi on Sunday.
It seems like it's like really, like,
delicious.
Is it a weird texture?
Delicious.
Is it like grainy?
No, it's more like like a soft melon.
How do you get the skin off a kiwi?
You use a knife.
Do you just like cut into it and then you like
cut it around?
You run a knife
like a Jello shot. Like
oh, like you cut it in half and then you just like squeeze it just squeezes out?
No, you use your tongue to cut around the Jello.
Oh, so it's not really adhered to the skin that much?
No, it is. It is. You just use a knife to like cut around it. Or you can just cut the skin off, like peel the skin off like you would an apple. I've seen some people, I guess they eat the skin, but that seems like really gross. It seems like a weird texture.
Gross. Yeah, probably kind of like hairy-ish, right?
Yeah. Yeah, that would be weird.
What do you think about the homework thing? Like, is that...
I don't like homework.
You don't like... Okay. Basically, I was trying to get it similar to, like, here's how you do it, and here's what I would normally do is, like, after work, I would be, like, making a bunch of shit. But it could be, like, homework doesn't necessarily mean, like, after I'm done in the studio. It could just be, like, I'm going to leave you to it. This is what I hope that you get done for tomorrow morning.
I'm definitely a fan of, like, demo.
They need time to just do their own thing.
What I'm a fan of mostly is demo, do the thing, then demo, do the thing. So instead of demo, don't do the thing, and then demo, and then do both the things, because when you're doing repetition like that, like when you're learning a new shape, at least for me, when I'm learning a new shape that's not my shape, I need to do it right after I've been showed how to do it, and I need to do a consistent, like I need to do like 10 of them, and then I'll figure it out, you know?
Okay.
So I definitely
Gotcha.
think you need, if you want like spoon rests and shot glasses, you need to either do like a full day of spoon rests or a full day of shot glasses, you know, or half a day of shot glasses, half a day of spoon rests, half a day of shot glasses, half a day of spoon rests.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I mean, ideally at the end of it, I would like, you know, let's see, what is this? I don't know, 200, like 150 spoon rests, 200 shot glasses, 250 shot glasses by the end of it.
That's a lot for 2 days.
No, for 3 days.
3 days? That's still a lot. I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't fucking do that.
Okay. Okay. All right, scale it down. What's reasonable?
I mean, like...
150? 150 shot glasses?
Yeah.
And 100 spoon rests?
Yes.
150, 100? Okay.
Like...
Oh, I think it looks like I had an extra 45 and 100 because they ended their third day by throwing a bunch, and then I would finish them.
Oh, okay. Yeah, because
that would
like,
be finished.
I mean, I only throw 100 pieces a day, Ryan. Like...
Okay.
Like your body hurts after a certain amount of pieces, especially if you're in a completely different studio.
Okay.
Standing up.
Actually, honestly, I think 50 shot glasses in a sitting is probably realistic.
Yes.
Like that's about my sweet spot for like a max. I threw like 85 the last week off a 25-pound block. Yeah. And that was that hurt my thumb by the end of it. But that was all in one sitting. But if I did it in 2 sittings, like
yeah, like
balance it out, it might not be that bad to throw 50 and 50.
Right, like when I do pinch spots, I do 75 at a time. But we also do this like
all the time.
All the time. So that you do have to keep that in mind. This is somebody coming in that may not have as much of that experience. But also, I think that you should be advertising this as an opportunity to practice production. You know, like this is a great, like it would be a great opportunity to come in and just like throw the same form, 50 of the same form, or 75, or like ask what they think a reasonable amount is for them, you know, because that's a super good opportunity because it's your clay, you're paying for it, you know. Some people don't have the money to make a bunch of things, you know, and or the time and the space.
And they have to scale it out of like, I've got to make, you know, I've got to make 5 mugs and I've got to make 5 bowls and I got to make 10
exactly.
spoon
and
rests,
they have to sell all that stuff too. Like, you know, they have to worry about selling the stuff that they make. And this is a great opportunity to just make a bunch of shit that they don't have to worry about selling, you know?
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
It's like people always ask us, how do you get better? And the way you get better is by repetition. And this is a good way to advertise that.
Yeah. Like throwing for somebody. If you just get a standard form and it's like, okay, your goal here is to just throw that form.
Yeah.
Make it look like this.
Even if it's something small, you know, like I threw small shit all fucking year and I'm so much better than I was before I started.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. So I'll think about that.
Yeah.
I'll see what I wanted to do in the winter because it's still making season.
Yeah.
And I think I could dedicate a weekend easier in the winter.
Yeah.
And plus it's getting them prepped for their year of shows ahead and stuff if they want to do shows. Yeah, I kind of want to like trial it out a little bit and see how that goes. I don't know. What do you think would be a reasonable payment for some? You think the piecemeal is the best?
I think piece rate's the best, honestly.
Piece rate.
Piece rate is definitely the best. Figure out a price that works for you. Talk to Rebecca and see how she does it. Yeah. I don't know exactly the formula that she uses, but take it down from your retail cost and see what.
Okay. I mean, honestly, that probably sounds about right with the 50 cents a shot glass, 50 cents a spoon rest. Spoon rests technically sell for a little more. They're like 15. Shot glasses are 9, but I need a lot of shot glasses. But I don't know. I feel like 25 cents would probably be too low for a shot glass.
Yeah, I mean, it depends on
You
how
can
much.
technically throw them in the same amount of time.
Right.
Or I can. As long as they can cut them off. I feel like the cutoff might be worth the 50 cents. If they can cut it off consistently.
I mean, if I was throwing your shot glasses at work, I'd be getting paid $1. So I cut what I thought you need to get paid in half. Like, you should really not be getting paid less than $1, I feel like, on anything. But since you're trading information as well and, opportunity, I think that 50 cents is reasonable.
Okay. But that's a fairly standard thing that if you're making something, you're going to make at least $1 per piece.
Yeah. If somebody told me I was
Okay.
going to make 50 cents per piece, I'd be like, fuck you.
Because it'd be like, what are you selling it for? Like, what is that? Like a $6 piece?
Yeah, like, fuck you. No. Because if you think about it, if it takes them time, like, you have to think about this as a learning experience and as them getting something out of it more than monetarily as well. Mm-hmm. But you have to hold up that end of the deal too. If they were just coming in to be a production potter for you, then you're going to have to pay them $1 a piece. But, or whatever. But, I don't know. Those shot glasses take no time at all.
Yeah. I was trying to think of, like, what would be reasonable enough for somebody to come to the studio for 3 days.
Yeah.
And, like what amount of money would be good?
Yeah.
Like, do you have an amount of money over the weekend that you would think, and we'll see if it matches up sort of with what I was thinking? I mean, in your situation, it sounds more tradesies a little bit.
I do feel like it's kind of a tradesies, I mean.
But, yeah.
Like,
I mean, I feel like they have to get something.
Obviously, they have to get something out of it, but they're getting food. They're getting, like, would you be paying for the meals?
I think the first night we would, like, make dinner.
Yeah.
And then the dinner, there could be, let's say it's like lasagna or something. Like, that could be eaten as lunch next day, or we could have sandwiches or something like.
I mean, who would pass up a Ryan Durbin sandwich? I don't know.
Sandwiches.
Delicious.
I was thinking like the turkey and stuff.
Bagel sandwich. With spicy mayo.
Yeah. And then, lunches would be lunches, and dinners would probably be like cooking in, or we go out the second day.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the only one I'm not sure about. Like, am I paying for the dinner the second day? Or is that like, that's on them, but they also get a choice of like where we go?
That would be something that you have to figure out, but like, yeah, I would say that if you paid piece rate, I would say pay for all the meals. Like, if you paid how much they did, pay for all the meals. If you are going to pay them like a flat rate for being there and for helping you, but the thing is, like, what if they don't fucking help you? Like, what if they don't, like, hold up their end of the deal, I guess that's what I'm getting at.
How do you, is it like you pay them, but like, this is what I expect by the end of it, finished pieces that are, 250 pieces by the end of it.
I think that we think way too much to think about these type of things. That's our problem. We're too thoughtful. Thinkful.
But putting this out there, like, I'm sure there's people listening that would be like, I think it totally depends on the skill set of the person.
Yeah.
Like, how do you go through the process of like finding somebody that works within the skill set you need,
right,
and doesn't just want the opportunity to like spend 3 days with you to learn a lot from you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah. Like, I'm going to Isaac's and I'm going to work for him. And I won't tell you what he's paying me because I don't need the whole world to know. But he's paying me piece rate. But I guarantee you we will be learning from each other equally. He's like, they're going to cook me meals. Mm-hmm. We're just going to be one big happy family. But like, I also guarantee you I'm going to be teaching him how to glaze, like how to mix my glazes, how to, I'll be showing him stuff that I know. He'll be showing me stuff that he knows. Like, there's going to be a swap of information that evens out in the end. Like, if you were going to pay somebody to come, and I would say maybe $50 a day, so like $150.
I was thinking more than that, but
How much were you thinking?
I initially, when I was like, okay, they're going to produce all this stuff, I was like, what's going to get them to come? And I was like, at least 300. And then I was thinking, like, when I initially shot out of a cannon, I was like 500, but I'm like, that's too much because I probably expected too many things to get done. And then I was like, 300, but I don't know.
Okay.
This is more just me showing my process and then them doing things.
Okay, but okay, think about it this way. If you wanted to do, okay, let's say you wanted to give him $300, right?
Flat.
Let's say that was the amount that you wanted to give him. Okay, and they're making how many pieces a day? They're making 50 shot glasses and 40 spoon rests. 45?
That was the first day. First day, 45 spoon rests, 50 shot glasses. Second day, 45 spoon rests, 100 shot glasses. And then they leave 50 spoon rests, 100 shot glasses.
Okay. So then...
Basically 50, 100. I don't want to overwhelm them the first day, so...
Okay, so then you charge them, and then you pay them $1 a spoon rest and $1 a shot glass. Guess what? That first day, they're making $95. That second day, they're making $150. So we're already at 2 something. And the third day, they're probably going to, we don't know how many they're going to make. But they'll probably get to about $300. And you can pay them $300, but they feel like they've made those pieces. And if they can't live up to what they're paying, like if they can't live up to what you're asking for, then they're being paid less.
So are you saying you still pay them flat, or
no,
you pay
them
piece rate?
But make your piece rate match the amount that you really want to pay them.
Okay. Does it matter if I have them do, like... I kind of wanted to give them, like, full scope for the whole thing of, like, here's how you wax them as well, and here's how you glaze them. I kind of wanted to teach them glazing because I kind of wanted them to glaze a bunch of them because it takes forever to glaze hundreds, 50 shot glasses.
Sure.
So, like, if they're doing day 2 and they know how to glaze, because I demo how I glaze things, can they glaze, 30 spoon rests and 70 shot glasses or something like that? Like, that's also going to help me out. And then by the end of it, they're going to be unloading the glaze kiln that we loaded the first day. You know what I'm saying? On day 3. So, like, they can kind of get the full gamut of, like, making. They don't get the whole bisque thing. Maybe not. We load a bisque, maybe not. It doesn't matter that much. But they get the whole, like, here's how you wax it, here's how you glaze it, here's how you get it out of the kiln, here's how I loaded it in the kiln.
Okay.
I don't know if that's beneficial to see how you load stuff like that in a kiln.
Yeah,
I mean, it would be other
depends
things.
on the person. Yeah, for sure.
But
I'm just saying, consider the piece rate situation and then maybe pay them hourly for glazing.
Because you always pretty much do piece rate for making, and then anything that's physical, like repetitive stuff like clay prep.
Yeah.
Like, would they be prepping clay and that's hourly?
No, I don't get paid to
or
prep my clay.
All the clay would be prepped, or they would have to do that. That's part of the piece rate.
How many ounces are the spoon rests?
Half a pound.
Okay.
8 ounces. And the shot glasses are thrown off the hump, so they're just taking a block of
Yeah,
clay.
there's no clay prep for shot glasses. I mean, initially, like, I'm not going to get paid for clay prep for Isaac, and he's not going to prep my clay. I mean, Javi might, but I don't know. I don't know. No, but I mean, like, I fully plan on prepping my own clay.
Plus, like, how much work it needs, and
right.
if you just cut it and,
I told him, I was like, have you used your, like, I was like, you have a Peter Pugger, don't you? And he was like, yeah, it hasn't been used in a year. And I was like, guess what? We're using it. Like,
Okay.
Becca's a picky bitch.
How do people do if they were like 3 days and they know that they're getting paid like individually? I mean, they have more stake in the game of how much.
You know what I mean? Like, just think of it this way. If you can afford to pay somebody $1 a shot glass and they can whip out fucking 1,000 shot glasses in a fucking weekend, like, think of the benefit you have. Like, that gives you,
And I'm happy with them. Like, that would be awesome.
Right, so,
if
like,
I could get, if they just chucked away at shot glasses and they love throwing them and they only threw like 50 spoon rests, I'd be like, all right, cool.
right, exactly. Like, and you could give them that choice, right? You're like, well, do you like throwing these shot glasses? They're $1 a piece. If you throw 600 of them, I would love that, and I'll pay you $600, because guess what? That's going to benefit me regardless. You know, like, I'm going to want to pay that. I'm going to pay myself $1 a shot glass regardless. So if I pay you $1, then that's fine. You know, think of it.
That saves my body.
Right.
Not
Think
having
of
to
it
make
that
them
way. If you pay them per
much.
piece instead of for the whole weekend, that gives them so much more opportunity to grow and to, like, and to give you as much as they can. You know, and they feel like they got what they needed. I'll fucking come and throw shot glasses for you for $1 a piece. I'll throw you 300 in a day. Or 400.
400.
Pay me $400, I'll fucking do it. Yeah, I mean, just think about it that way and figure out a price that works for you.
And then I'm like, am I overthinking it? Like, do I just put it out there that I want to pay somebody piece rate for making me shot glasses and spoon rests during these next few months because that's what I really care about the most?
Then yeah, I think you should do that. Honestly. Because, like, that's, like, the simplest.
Like, am I overthinking this? Am I trying to make it too much, like,
I think you are.
beneficial that it's like, I really just am worried about the number of shot glasses I'm going to need to make
If that's all you care about, then I would put it out there that you really need somebody to throw shot glasses for you. And guess what? You could probably find somebody who's in the vicinity of you, and you guys work for a weekend together. You show him how you throw your shot glasses. You send him home, and he bisques them for you. You know? He thumbs them off, and he throws them in his bisque, and he ships them to you, and you glaze them. Like, there's nothing wrong with that. You know?
Yeah.
Like, I could do that. I could throw you shot glasses and drive them down to you. You know?
You mean, like, you have the clay?
Yeah, I have the clay. I work with the clay, and I, like, what, you use White Lightning or whatever it's called. Not White Lightning. It's
Iceman.
Use Iceman. I would throw 8,500, 400, 700 shot glasses off the hump, bisque them in my kiln, charge you $1 a piece with the bisque rate, and then drive them down to you, and good as gold. Like... There's nothing wrong with that. That's how a lot of people do shit. That's how Justin Ross
How do you
does
find
shit.
people like that? Just in general, I know you, but how would you go about finding somebody like that?
Well, like,
if you even knew that was a possibility of, like, am I comfortable doing this? Am I not?
You just put the word out, you know, and say, hey, I'm looking for somebody. I mean, look at Merritt. Like, Merritt works for us, and she didn't throw production before she came to us. We taught her how to throw. Like, she knew how to throw well. I'm not saying, like, she knew how to throw well. But she's 24. She'll be 23, 25 this month. So, like, you know, she is what you would consider intermediate to high, right? Like, fresh out of college, majoring in ceramics. And she throws really well, but we taught her how to do it fast, you know? Like, not really. Like, we gave her the tools, and she figured it out. But that only took, like, 3 months for her to get going, you know?
Yeah.
You can find somebody that's fresh out of college that did ceramics that's in your area or close to your area that needs some extra cash, that wants the practice. I mean, the amount that Merritt's improved in the last since August is phenomenal, right? And that's just, and she fucking throws tiny planters every day, all day. Like, these little tiny ass planters that are annoying as fuck. That's what she throws. I mean, she does a lot more than that now, but like that's what she started throwing, and oof, oof.
Because the thing I'm hitting is I just had to up my shot glass price online because I literally sold out of every single one in this like white clay. So I was like, I mean, the last 2 weeks, I was like, I have to throw like 150 of them, like in these 2 weeks, so that I get the backlog ready, so that I can bisque them. And then it's like, am I going to be doing this all year? Like, when am I going to have time to like throw mugs or throw something else? You know?
Right, exactly. Yeah, I mean, like, fuck. Yeah, I mean, find somebody that's willing to grow, and you're willing to, like how Trevor was talking to you about how like when he started, he was kind of like, you know, not the best for Justin. He throws for Justin, and how he started, like he had a lot of grace. Justin had a lot of grace, and like, you know, let the first couple like shot glasses that you do. And I mean, your shot glasses are so loosey-goosey. Like, there's nobody's gonna be able to fuck that up. Like, they're so...
Yeah. As long as they can cut it off well and not leave it super thick, then I mean, it's not rocket science.
Right. Like, it definitely is not. So, like, really anybody could do it. And if you've got enough grace in there for them to do that, like, just think of the amount that they could grow in the next couple of months, and then they can start throwing something else for you that you are like, you know, like they could start off with shot glasses and spoon rest, because anybody can throw a fucking spoon rest, and
yeah, that would cheer me up, honestly. That
so I think you're looking at this the wrong way. I think you're looking at this in a teacherly way, and I think you need to be looking at this in a business perspective. For once. Yeah.
Well, I think I had that realization when I threw 86 and my thumb was hurting at the end of that night the next day, and I was like, I got to take the next day or two off because I can't throw any more shot glasses. I could probably throw something else, but my thumb is physically hurting. Like, what is going to happen when I need to throw 200 in like a weekend or something, you know?
Well, and for the time being, I can come down and throw for you on the weekend.
Or I can just give you some boxes of clay and you could throw whatever at your own studio if you want.
Yeah. I'm totally
down.
I'm sure
let's do that.
Yeah, let's do it.
I'm going to look for somebody local too, though, and see if they're willing. And it'd basically be like a little working session one day and be like, this is what I want.
And send them home.
Here's a box of clay.
Yeah, and if they have a wheel at home, send them home, because then they can do it as slow as they want at the beginning, just to figure out how to do it. And then they can speed themselves up.
Okay. Plus, there's probably a lot of people, if they can make right now and they can't sell, then they probably want some cash right now.
Yeah.
During the
and I mean,
months.
It's not very much money, but it's certainly, I mean,
something.
If you can throw 100 in a day, that's how much I make. Like,
yeah.
I mean, today I made $120 because I threw 120 crumbles, you know, which is the smallest I'll make in a day, but still. That's not too fucking shabby.
I like that. I like how we went with an idea, flipped it. You're overthinking it.
Yeah.
All right, let's figure.
Yeah, that was good.
Simplify it here.
That was good. Yeah. I know I should stop selling myself to all my friends.
So if you had, this also kind of goes to the like assistant thing. Like, I was looking for an assistant that was hourly that can do some of these things. Like, they could potentially throw for me, but maybe I should just look for somebody that can do just
piece rate,
clay prep, and just glazing, and do hourly only things, and then like no or little clay experience. That way the pool is larger of potential people.
Yep.
And then the piece rate is very specific.
Yep.
I was just avoiding the piece rate thing because I'm like, I don't know how you track. I mean, tracking is probably not terrible.
It's not bad, and it's not that scary. It's fine. You know, you just count up what you did. Like, you do it every day. You count up how many you made.
Yeah.
and they just count up how many they made. They put it on a little Trello board. Boom.
Boom. And they could do it in my studio or out of my studio.
Correct.
Whatever they want to do. Okay.
Preferably out of your studio, because then you don't have to deal with them.
And they can work at their own schedule.
Yeah.
They don't have to be like, are you available when and when?
Correct. You can just say, hey, I need 400 pieces by this time. Or let's do a weekly drop off,
Yeah.
Yeah.
Here's a box of clay. Like, see what you can.
Yeah.
I don't know how you do that. Would you like have an estimate of like what you should have? I mean, spoon rest would be easy because you'd have half a pound for everything, so it would math out pretty easily. Or it could be like, you should get about 80 shot glasses out of this block.
I get 76 pinch pots out of a block of clay.
Yeah.
The next time, I bet you, if you should do another block of clay, and you should see, or at least do a half or something. Do 2 halves and see how much you get. I'll bet you it's about 80.
Yeah. I think I did 86 with that block last week. Okay. Love it. Glad we chatted about it.
Yeah, me too.
Hopefully that'll help some people out there.
Oh, I'm sure it will. Wow, that went longer than I thought it would. We should leave.
Yes.
It is 12:30.
Holy crap.
Holy shit.
And my mouse died or something.
Hasn't this happened before?
I think so. I don't know why it died though.
Well, my mic died, so we've just lots of dying today.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on here.
Okay. Well, can you click buy?
I don't think so.
Can you hit the space bar?
I'm not in the program. Oh, there we go. I got a.
You got it?
My keys work.
Okay.
Now I got to remember the hotkeys.
What do you need? I've got a little shortcut.
Here we go. I got it.
Okay.
Okay, is spacebar the one that stops it?
Yes.
All right. Thanks everybody for listening.
Thanks. Bye.
Bye.
Yo, yiggity yo. It's Becca here. Hey, just so you know, thank you for listening. And also, we have... What do we have again? A Patreon. We have a Patreon that you should go, and if you want to donate to, you could donate to it. If you don't, that's cool too. But just Google Wheel Talk Podcast Patreon. Don't do the other one, because there is a Wheel Talk on Patreon, but it's not us. So make sure you get the right one. It's in the show notes. And also, leave us a review because they're fun to read. Okay, bye.